you for full terms.
Farmers, Greenham is open for business. Bring your boner cows and bulls of all weights to Greenham's live weight buying centres. They'll weigh them and write you a cheque on the spot with no fees, commissions, yard dues or curfews. Scales at Wonthaggi, Fish Creek and Maffra. Call Sean Callady 0437 918 870 to find out more. Greenham, your Aussie-owned processor, supporting local communities.
Big specials, big offers, big savings. Live local, shop local.
Well, Paddy Gordon joins us as well on a Saturday. Welcome, Paddy.
Good afternoon, fellas. Ripping game ahead, I think.
Absolute cracker. And the number one stats man in the business to my right is, of course, Paul Carter. He's all thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Paul, good afternoon.
Darrell Lane listeners, and silly season has officially opened.
Well, it has. We've had some smoke and mirrors during the week, of course, some ins and outs. The ducks and drakes between both these sides has continued, and none bigger. Well, Sam Plemming runs out there with the Maffra side and will take his place, and that is a massive inclusion. Of course, John Butcher's into that side as well, and they are two big names for this Eagles outfit.
That's it, and the question still remains is who's actually going to take on the ruck duties now that Kieran Jones is not in the lineup. It is an interesting question. It'll be interesting to see who leads off anyway and whether they share the load during the day.
Just repeating your tips, boys. Boxer?
Leongatha by 11 points.
And Paddy?
Yeah, I had Leongatha by 15. I've just had a text through from my mother as well, and she's put Maffra down by 8. So I reckon we need to chuck that to the...
we didn't ask your mum.
No, sorry, she's chipped in anyway.
Paul?
And I thought Leongatha in a relatively low-scoring game, whoever kicks 10 goals wins the match by 14 points.
Well, I said it's going to be a draw, and we're going to go to extra time, and then Tommy Marriott's going to burst out of the middle, run away from Ed Carr,
then I'll walk home
and kick the winning goal, and Boxer's going to walk home. And I cannot wait, because I'm not waiting for anyone, because the Tigers play tonight at 7 o'clock against the Brisbane Lions. Looking forward to that one. We've got a couple of score updates for you around the grounds. Boxer, will start with you.
Yes.
All thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture.
I have a reserves final score in the grand final in the Mid Gippsland Football League in Yallourn North. This time they've gone through champions and premiers in the reserves. 4-6-30. They defeated Traff 3-3-21 in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, and down at Icon Park between Gippsland Power and the Western Jets, it's the Power who now lead 3-3-21 to 2-1-13. Harvey Neoclis with 2 goals, and Caleb Sarong's hit the scoreboard as well, so the Power up by 8.
Go Power.
Well, both sides are walking out, and, well, it could be Ed Carr, Daddy Butcher, Reed's in the middle doing the ruck work, and Alex Carr. So I know which one I'll tip in terms of who's going to do the ruck work. We're going to go with James Reed.
Yep.
And that will be a big battle this afternoon, because he'll take on the might of Ben Willis in the middle. Matchups, Boxer, who's going forward and back for each side, as you can see it at the moment?
Well, interestingly too, just for Leongatha, Sandbrook's gone to the bench, so that half-back matchup is not what we thought it was going to be. Lloyd has the matchup. Hutz has gone to Lloyd, so as we predicted there as well. I'm just trying to pick up Plemming has gone back, and Plemming's picked up Nagel, so that's an interesting matchup there for the Maffra side as well. Forward, looks like Mitch Bennett is going to start in the square, so an interesting setup there too. Butcher's playing a little bit higher as well. All over to you, Scud.
Well, here we go. Willis and Reed. That's right. James Reed does the ruck duties. Taps it straight down to Brown. He gets it over the top to Cameron Stone. Just fumbles a little bit. Butcher came in from the wing area. Picking it up there was Jolly. Now he has to put on a tackle. No one real clean possession. And still inside the centre square. Denny Butcher's the last one up off the pack, as he most often is. And we'll do this one again. The wind takes that one away from that ruck duty. Lockie Channing took on the tackler of Tommy Marriott. You don't do that too often.
Just a quick one. I've noticed that Channing and Ed Carr have swapped. So Alex Carr has started in the middle for the opening couple of bounces. So
I don't mind Mitch Bennett forward either, out of the square.
Oh, this time Reed got a hand on it. I'll give it to Reed. Coming off the back of the line there was Nagel. A quick kick goes forward. Over the top there of Chrissy Dunn. He has to work hard on David Adams. Now the ball's still in dispute. On hands and knees, there is Coleman. And he's not going anywhere either. Bowman pins him to the ground. We've travelled a minute, no score. Ball hasn't left the centre square.
The reason why I like Mitch Bennett, they've left him isolated as well. These conditions, ball hits the ground a lot. You give him a chance.
Ed Carr won that stoppage, gave it over the top to his runner in Jolly. Had to quickly get ball to boot, goes to the wing area. Johnson's there for Maffra in a quick tackle. He got dumped when he didn't have the football, and he wins himself the free kick. Kelly doesn't like it. Certainly the free kick was there. Jack Johnson right on the wing area. Butcher presents it half forward, goes lateral, does Johnson, and found Ed Carr. Marks, plays on, thumps it, right foot kick. Here's Bennett, will go to the back. He'll look for the one-on-one,
good
and
mark.
what a strong mark,
Great mark.
by Mitchy Bennett. Held his ground, and he's on the right side to kick this one. The breeze is going across from the grandstand side, the social room side of the ground here at Maffra, pushing across the famous gum trees on the far side.
Get a good view on the effect of the breeze from this angle, I think, boys. We're right behind it.
Yeah, we certainly are, as Mitchy Bennett, great to see him lining up deep in the forward line. We know how dangerous he is. Comes in, will kick it from about 48 metres. He skips in over the 50, and another big skip. Left foot shot, starts it right, it comes back left.
That'll do.
I think it will do. And he looks to the can bar here at the showgrounds and celebrates with his teammates. The first goal goes to Mitchy Bennett.
Yeah, it was a fantastic contested mark there by Mitchy Bennett. So they've got the start they wanted, and they've probably got the matchup they wanted too down forward as well. So the mark was fantastic.
Yeah, just an interesting one with that ruck duo as well. I think James Reid being in there might actually work in Maffra's benefit. He might lose a tap, but it's another smaller midfielder almost on the ground.
And it was good to see a left footer do what he did, get the ball to go inside out for their first goal.
Our first look at the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard. It's 1 goal straight, 6 to Maffra, 2-minute mark.
Willis gets this one down beautifully done to Marriott, but then lost the football in a strong tackle. Ed Carr spun on a thrippence and then drives it inside, forward 50, and Butcher marks it. This is John, and he'll go back directly in front. Too strong for the Boone. And that looked great signs. The midfield dominance of Ed Carr. It started with Marriott, who lost the footy. And Butcher, too strong inside forward 50 for Maffra.
So you like to use that thrippence.
Straight from
Good to
your
see.
vocabulary, boxer.
Awesome.
So Johnny Butcher, he comes in, and we know sometimes he's been a little bit off with his kicking. This one, though, makes no mistake. And there, Maffra are up and about with inside 3.5 minutes. They got 2 straight goals.
This is what we wanted, Scud. We wanted players like Butcher and Mitchy Bennett, Mitchy Bennett's probably had a quiet month as well, like Paul spoke about earlier. But nothing like Johnny Butcher, one-on-one against one of the best backmen in the competition in Verboon. He did it quite easily in the end. And to finish off, we're always a bit sceptical about his kicking, but it was a beautiful kick goal then.
And Maffra's doing to Leongatha what the Parrots did to Sale last week. 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the first quarter. This one to John Butcher. Harvey Norman, the computer scoreboard. Maffra at 2 goals straight, 12. Leongatha yet to score.
A stat will follow today, Paul, is going to be hit-outs and, of course, clearances, because Big Ben Willis will win just about every hit-out, but the all-important clearances will be the one, and Big Willis just thumped Danny Butcher into the ground. And, of course, he just pops up like a sprinkler.
One thing about Maffra, they've been really physical early. I just noticed it off the ball even. They're very close to their opponents. Let them know they're around as well.
Just an interesting one there. That was James Reid won that free kick from a high fend-off. So Willis was trying to use his body, and the fend-off went high.
Well, the kick goes to the top of the 50. Bedgood was there, ducked under a tackler, and then put it to open space. So it goes over the top. It might bounce through. It's bouncing last line. They can't get there. Sovereign can't touch it. Maffra on fire. They got 3 in a row.
Well, everything's working out the way for Maffra at
Exactly.
the moment. And who's talking about conditions? I can't even tell if there's any wind out there at the moment, because the way they're doing it and they're bringing it inside, they're doing it very, well, very, very easily.
It's swirly enough that it's obviously playing havoc, because those 2 last long kicks in have just sort of affected the contest. Where body position would usually be, it does seem to be blowing to that far side, and I think that's affected it.
3 goals straight in at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. 3 inside 50s, 3 goals to Maffra. Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
Big moments thanks to Monticello this afternoon. The Parrots need to get something going, and they do through Bowman. There's a free kick, and it's going back to the middle. They wanted the advantage. Nagel, surely not. They haven't played it, have they? Nagel continued on, and I think the ball will come back right to the middle of the ground. Leongatha wanted the advantage. Everyone had stopped, though.
Must be pretty cold out there, Daryl. Even the umpires wearing gloves today. Good to see. Have you seen that?
Well, I have now. Thank you for bringing it to our
There you go.
attention.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Special comments thanks to Box Lucchino this afternoon. Anything you need to know, Box was right on top of it.
Yep, and the last night's scores, I got plenty of them.
What were they?
Yeah.
Geelong, no, we won't go there. Marriott has it in the middle of the ground for Leongatha. He drives it to the top of the 50. Bowman on top of his head, but Carr will mark this one. He wasn't paid. He got sport at the last moment. Football now in dispute. Diving on it there was Nick Nagel. And we'll have a ball up.
And Boxer, how important is it that Leongatha gets a score out of this entry to just try and steady the ship a little bit after a big start from
Yeah, they look a little bit stunned at the moment.
They do.
I've never seen Leongatha this stunned at the moment.
So Willis, the ball just drops between the 2 ruckmen. Willis became a tackler on Alex Carr. And umpire lets it go a while, and then crosses his arm, and the youngster there just getting ripped off the pack. Was it Daniel O'Brien? Congratulations to O'Brien. He's playing his 200th game. Quick around the body there was from Olden. It bounces at a really dangerous spot. Leongatha, good work by the defence. It's got ricocheted kick though as Clossy wins it. Gave it out to that man O'Brien. Sweeps a handball over the top now to the runner and his teammate. He's under now a little bit of pressure. Trying to win the football again was Clossy. Quickly picked up this time by Forrester. And his kick goes across the face of the goal. And we'll have a boundary throw in. We need a quick check. James Whelan, that's the one I'm looking at, right at the very bottom. Number 21 out there for the Eagles. Boundary throw in deep inside Leongatha.
I do like the matchup of Clossy on Hopkins because obviously we know how dangerous Hopkins was last week. So Maffra really are aware of that form.
Clossy's got good closing speed as well.
Yeah. And good dash away from a contest when it comes out.
Well, it'll be the offence and the defensive attack. Reed over the top, got it straight down. Maffra clearing kick. It's a barrel. It's a monster of a kick, and the wind just took it right in front of the famous grandstand, the gum tree here at the Maffra Showgrounds, and it's out of bounds on the full. Comes back inboard Leongatha to Sandbrook. His kick's a bit errant. It missed Chris Fabuni. He had some space and time, and then his left foot kick goes high. Willis got spoilt. Where's the Crummers? Good work by Channing. Got ripped around the head. Free kick. Cameron Olden was just overzealous. And Lockie Channing wins it at half-back.
Sure, that was there. I reckon he grabbed the back of the jumper and ripped him down that way. It just probably looked a lot higher than what it was.
It looked a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah.
Channing goes to the far side. Presenting out there is Johnson. Goes over his head. Boundary throw-in. 8-minute mark. It is Maffra 3 straight 18. Leongatha are yet to score. Maffra got those within 4 minutes of this first quarter.
How's the luxury of Maffra been able to bring in a player like Sam Plem? He hasn't played for a little while. He's already out there now. He's out there just directing traffic and talking to the troops. What an in.
This time Reed tapped it straight down. O'Brien got blindsided, lost the football. Leongatha swoop on it. Quick kick by Stone. Goes to half forward. Ganane used his body nicely. Took out 2 Eagles. He's got a handball over the top to Hopkins. Goes to him. Now he gives it across to Nagel. He puts him under the pump though. Back to Ganane from 45. Standing shot on goal. It's going, and that might be the spark that Leongatha need. And it is through John Ganane or Jack Ganane, whichever side of the fence you're on. Jack gets his first, and Leongatha's all important first, thanks to Monticello's.
That's a great goal against the flow. That was basically a pot shot from 45, and he's managed to sneak that through. That's a really great finish with how under the pump they are in these first 10 minutes.
Harvey Norman Computer's scoreboard sees Leongatha's first goal coming at the 9-minute mark of this first quarter, up against Maffra's 3 goals straight.
Hayden Brown back on the ground. Hayden Brown on the ground for his first run for the afternoon for the Parrots.
Is Reed going to ruck all day?
I reckon he will.
Wow. It's going to be a big effort. And if Maffra win this game, I'm putting Reed in my best, I think. He's going to have an enormous game against the ruck as Willis tapped it down. Trying to kick it off the ground there was Benny Brunt. Chain of handballs. Edcar had it, gave it to O'Brien. Scrubby little kick to half forward. Johnson was clean. Picked it up, gave it off to the runner and Jolly. And now from 55, he sprays it. It nearly went right angles. It actually goes over the boundary line, outside 50. And he was running on the top of the 50. It did go right angles. Boundary throw in here at Maffra.
Just a quick one I've noticed with the centre bouncers, Maffra's high forwards are running in to try and flood the contest to try and create another stoppage.
So Bedgood took this ruck duty inside the forward 50. Jolly will run onto this one. Working his way back is Sandbrook, just fumbles at a crucial stage. Johnson gathered, gave it off. Oh, Jolly just slipped over, couldn't get there. Bennett comes out to give his teammate a hand. Leongatha got some numbers, but Bedgood with some really strong pressure. He was just too strong on that occasion. And he's given away a free kick, and Kelly will be the one. So Kelly kicks it outside his defensive 50, and it gets over the back. Forrester marks.
I might retract that too, Darryl. I reckon John Butcher might go in for a little bit of a chop out for him as well.
Forrester kicked it out to the lead of Lloyd, missed him. Hutz is there as well. Happy to see it go over for a boundary throw in. 10.5 minutes in. Maffra lead it by 12 points.
Or what they do is he takes the ruck work inside the arcs, and then everyone else takes the rucks outside of that. So Plemming, maybe a Butcher down forward, or Bedgood.
It's where Petro's one that they've really missed even more today now. He's that backup ruckman that could have played that role.
Clearing kick from Leongatha, didn't go too far. Adams got pushed in the back. Clossy came out to win it. Now Carr gave a slick handball back to Plemming. Nice kick out to the wing and found Benny Brunt. Handball inboard, this time to Alex Carr. Drives it half forward, 1-on-1. Bedgood runs underneath it slightly. Allowed Westaway to spoil it to the open space there of Cameron Olden. The handball goes over the top. Good work by Bedgood to follow up. He gives a handball out the back now to Coleman. Sold some candy inboard, then kicked it down towards the boundary line. The wind takes this one over. Out of bounds on the full. Westaway's kick.
I think Leongatha needs to take a little step out of Maffra's book here and just bring their high half forwards higher up. It seems to be creating Maffra some space, and I think they're just starting to do it now. They've just got that one deep forward who's about 30 out to try and build that ball in.
Westaway's kick went straight down half forward area, and Clossy takes the mark.
So the change for Leongatha in the ruck is Jackson Harry. He'll come in there and ruck as well, like we saw he did last week. He's vertical.
Oh,
incredible.
big fly by Chris Baboon. That half-back flank for Leongatha. Well, it's being played on the far side of the ground at the moment. His short little kick's a turnover, sloppy play. Allowed, though, quickly to pick it up. There was Olden over the top to Nagel. Westaway was there to help out. Quick kick down towards Hopkins' direction. He didn't take the football and decided to run onto it at ground level, swooped on it. Gets back, left foot kick, inside, nicely done to Bowman. As he got some space, he swings around, left foot kick to some open area. Lloyd just at his toes. Ganane was there. So Skelling, he's playing up in the forward line. Now he picks it up. Strong tackle there by Carr. And a kick out of fresh air from, that was Brown, but it's marked there by Butcher. And Butcher has it. He comes to this near side. It's going to be a turnover though. Cole Sandbrook, this wind, there's tough conditions. The kick goes towards centre half forward as Skelling has it. He's got Nagel to presenting deep. He goes in that direction. Back there is Plemming over the back. Big mark. It's nearly paid. No, play on, said the umpire. Down at ground level there was Butcher.
Jeez, he had most of that. That's
a mark every day of the week.
That
I'm
was.
pretty sure that
15 out straight in front as well.
You'll find Skelling, he's picking up Brunt, so Brunt's pushing forward defensively as well. That's how you find him down there.
Harry tapped it down to Plemming. His quick kick goes out. It's all Leongatha, and Scully again takes the mark at the top of the 50. Do you have a crack here, Boxer?
I would. Look, he's such an underrated footballer, isn't he? That's a great mark in the conditions.
That is a brilliant mark.
The ball was pushing away from him as well, and to hold his ground in a contested ball like that.
How far left, Boxer?
He's going to have to go halfway through, in between the point and the goal post.
Rightio. So the left goal post, we're looking on the left-hand side of that. Josh Skelling comes in. He'll have to kick it all of 55 plus metres. Starts at that direction. Has he got the length? I don't know if he has. It was touched on the last line. And it's a minor score. It's the first one of the afternoon in these tough conditions. Oh, you wouldn't have thought so. 13 and a half minutes gone. First quarter.
And the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard sees Leongatha 117, trailing by 11 points. Maffra 3 straight 18.
See, Maffra prepared to actually flood the Leongatha forward line at the moment, just to give him no opportunity when the ball gets inside 50.
Well,
so they've done his homework.
They might be on here. They get the overlap handball. Plemming got over the top. Jolly was there. Inboard to Butcher. Over the top, the running space. Johnson took it and then took on the tackler. And he waits on the ground. The umpire don't ping him for that one. He was making the play. Had no prior opportunity. Well, ball up, half forward flank. It's an 11-point margin in favour of the Eagles.
The way Maffra's linking up, it doesn't look like it's been raining for the last couple of hours out there. It almost looks like a dry day with how they're linking up.
Well, Alex Carr tried to bust his way through. He couldn't get through two tacklers. And there's a free kick going out there. It looks to be to Forrester as he comes inboard. Over the top there, running onto this is Hopkins for Leongatha. Handballs to no one. Plemming's the loose one back. And cool under pressure. He gathered it, gave it to Coleman, who's got time to handball over the top. The run and draw was good. Reed, he's just got to pick it up. Bushman closed quickly. Now Cade Renoy swoops on it. Kick around his body, goes straight up and down in the air. And going back, did it travel the required 15? No, it didn't. Jackson Harry had to quickly handball off to Chrissy Dunn. And he had to blaze away quickly in Lambourne. Well, he takes the mark and quickly played on as well. So we've got a free kick being paid here, boys, holding the man.
Because of the conditions too.
And Hopkins has just dumped him. There's a couple little spot fires.
That's Lambourne, maybe?
There's one on the far side. It is Lambourne and Nagel. And the other one, the 50-metre penalty there was against Joshy Hopkins. He dumped the Maffra player, and it was Clossy that he dumped. So the 50 metres goes Maffra's way.
Yeah, it's always interesting with these two sides when the ball gets that bit further down the field. It's always interesting to watch what happens behind because they are two sides that there's no love lost and they will definitely be all at it today.
So Clossy have got a little bit of space to Maffra in their forward 50, but Clossy's kick missed everyone by at least 5 metres. Just landed in the field of play. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 16 minutes into this all-important second semi-final clash on your Saturday afternoon right here on TRFM. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical. And Maffra lead it by 11 points at the moment. We're inside the forward 50. Boundary throw-in of Maffra's. Nicely rove there by Chris Baboon. He delivers outside to the wing area, but it's all Maffra, and Lambourne has it on the wing area. Key stats, Paul, a couple of ruck duties there.
The ruck duties are Reed 3, Willis 7 at this stage.
And clearances.
Clearances are 6 apiece.
Oh, Chrissy Dunn's got the football in his hand. It's an open forward line. Boxer wants him to move it quickly. He has no option now. He just kicks it high on top of Nagel's head. Who will fly? Lloyd's there as well, spoiled by Fleming. Ground level is Hopkins. Flicks a handball out to Ganane. He's close up on the boundary line. Great smother there, and that was by Fleming, and that's why he's in the side for his defensive efforts just like that.
Both sides are prepared to give up the 50.
Yeah,
they've got no one inside. When you've got the ball that high in and you can get it quickly in on the overlap, get it in. Get the guys running.
So from this stoppage, can the Parrots find something? Harry tapped it down. Running onto this one is Brown. Didn't take possession of the football. Coleman did well. Brown asked the question of the umpire, and he said throw it in.
I haven't seen much influence of Marriott, or maybe I haven't seen a lot more than what I thought.
Just that one kicked out of the
That's the only
centre.
one. I think Channing is the one that's going with him at the moment too.
Oh, keep an eye on that one as Reed got high. Nice tap down from Reed. Out the back was Clossy. Gave it to O'Brien, the youngster. Nice kick out towards, is it Jolly? His kick was partially smothered. So it ricochets back to centre half forward, and Harry grabbed it, kicked it to the hot spot. This is a better forward entry. Lloyd's there, comes to ground. Great work by Reed. Now he's doing his defensive work down there. Quick kick out from the back half there was from Carr. And it might come back as Chris Baboon takes the mark.
Jeez, he reads the play well, Chris Baboon. He's been the pick-off man this whole quarter so far.
Goes lateral to Sandbrook. He can come lateral again to Cooper. Well, he missed him. It went backwards. Sovereign was there as well. They basketball this around the top of the 50. Here's Davidson. Lloyd presents and goes in that direction. Chipping it off though. There he is. We spoke about him, Michael Coleman.
All 18 Maffra players are in Leongatha's half of the ground. They're obviously looking to burst and run through this, so they're going to try and run this in a way, even though that kick has gone wayward and has rolled over out of bounds in Leongatha's forward pocket.
Sure, I'm a bit worried about that sort of chip kick. I've seen Sandbrook do it about 3 times.
Not the day for it.
It's gone backwards instead of going forward, so we just got to be really conscious of that kick.
So we have a boundary throw in right at the top of the 50. Reed again, nicely done. Butcher, he's going to be on the bottom of this pack again. Lots of numbers around it, and we'll ball it up. 19 minutes in, first quarter, goal scorer so far. John Butcher's got one, Daniel Bedgood and Mitchie Bennett all within the first 4 minutes of this game. Leongatha have just steadied, but they've only managed the 1 goal, won themselves.
Oh, we've got an umpire down.
Well, that's the guy with the gloves as well. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. His hands are clean anyway.
As Butcher marked it at half-back flank for Maffra. He looks up. Reed's doing a power of work. This could be one sort of game from this fellow. We keep an eye on him this afternoon. Channing, great spot, front and square. Gave it off to the runner. They kick it over the top of the foot race. Butcher might run onto this one. John's there to help out his Benny Brunt.
Yeah.
Can't quite pick it up at ground level there. Cooper sits on it. He's got to get rid of it. He's into trouble. The umpire says no.
Just had our 4th course for the day. Turn up with some cakes over on the right hand
Tell
side.
you what, are you kidding me?
Not only is Maffra Football Netball Club the best club in terms of providing food, as a quick kick, I might actually move here.
We need a van to get home. Can we have an afternoon kip?
Talk about that tow rope that Benny Brunt's got.
I can see you salivating over those prawns though. You can't wait for quarter time, can you?
I don't know what to eat first. 20 minutes have gone in this first quarter. It's an 11-point margin. Here's a chance for Maffra. Jack Johnson took the ruck duties. Just let it come to ground. Brown just slapped it out of there. Skelling will try and run onto it, pick it up. Davey Adams smashed him to the ground. They try and win the football back to the Eagles. Ball in dispute. Kelly's waiting for it on the outside. Now he has to work hard. Great work there by Brunt. Got crunched as he got rid of the football. And no free kick. Ball up right on the point of the square.
We've just seen early on too, it looks like Jack Johnson will take the ruck down forward to give James Reed a bit of a chop out for Maffra as the game goes on.
Ed Carr got swung around to the tackle.
Just a quick around the grounds thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, and it's in the North Gippsland League Reserves game in the prelim final played over at Churchill, and it's Yarram who joined the senior side. 9-8-62 defeated TTU 3-8-26.
Oh, just repeating here in the earlier games. We've got another stoppage by the way, 21-minute mark of this first quarter. It was Terrelgan. Well, they've lost both the under-16s and the 18s. Warrigal and Maffra getting over the top. And then Maffra having a good day. They won the reserves as well. The ball gets transferred to the wing area. Good pick up by Ganane, but he's had to go and work for his footy again because he missed the target by hand. And Sam Fleming, you can't leave him on his own at half-back. Takes the easiest of uncontested marks.
Just quickly, Gippsland Power's game. Gippsland Power lead 4-4-28 to 2-1-13 over Western Jets.
Start to get their game going.
They do. Another goal to Nicholas Proud for Gippsland Power.
So Fleming's kick went to Cade Renoy. His kick goes high to the wing. A big pack will form. Reed spoiled it. Ground level there. Free kick over the shoulder will go in the way of Cooper. And Cooper goes short. Is at 15. He found Borshman. Now they want to come in board, but Maffra's defence is pretty good at the moment.
And this is what I don't get. They're playing the short game, and they know they're going to flood back the defence of Maffra. Get the ball in quickly.
And Fleming, we can put it on repeat, takes a mark across defensive half-back flank, and they go to Ganane as well. And the 50-metre penalty will be paid.
Oh, he said he had something on his cheek and he wanted to wipe it off.
Did he? As he put him to ground?
Yeah. So that's why he's got his 50.
Was that your excuse all the time, Boxer?
Yeah, well, blokes had things on their cheeks.
All the time.
You've just got to help them get clean.
Didn't wet the hanky and wipe it off.
No.
Well, a lateral kick to Lambourne. He can have the handball over the top. He took on the tackler and now drives it into a dangerous spot. Butcher's there. Gets underneath it though. Verboon put one hand up. Good work by Butcher to recover. Borshman squeezed a handball out, but Reed was there for the Eagles. Goes back to O'Brien. Quick kick. Back in that direction. Johnson goes back. Good spoil there by Sandbrook to clear the area, find the boundary. And at 23 minutes have passed. 3 straight 18, Maffra. Leongatha 1-1-7.
Scud, the senior game has started in the North Gippy in the prelim final. Churchill 3-4-22. Off to a great start against Rosedale, just the 1 point.
At home as well for the Cougars.
So they get a home final as well. Okay.
Well, this one was planned. That one wasn't.
It could have been changed.
Yep. Well, anyway, this is a big game for us here in the second semi-final. We've got a ball up. Half forward for Maffra. Over the back was Ed Carr from the stoppage. Kicks it. Top of the 50 it goes. Baboon's been good. Leaving it behind on this occasion though. Jack Johnson quickly wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll have a ball up just inside the field of play and just inside Maffra's 50.
It's unreal. They're prepared to leave Sam Fleming roam around on his own. Nick Nagel, his direct opponent, is playing up the ground at the minute. Not worrying about what Fleming's doing back behind the ball.
I don't know why you'd persist with that. It's something that in quick transition play, he's the best reader of the football.
And in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to roll one back. I think they've got to go man on man, and here they win it from the stoppage. Davidson tries to work it out. He can't quite get a hand on it. Sandbrook's on all fours. Maffra diving on top. Adams was one of those.
How are your stats going there, Paul, with the hit-outs? Because the last 3 have all just been grabbed straight out of the ruck and no one's trying to palm it anywhere.
It has been too. Willis has had 9 and Reed 5 and Johnson, who just grabbed that one before.
I'll make that another one to Willis. He tapped it down. It was a quick kick. I think that one from Brown, but it was picked off by Clossy. It's going to be a turnover though, as picked off by Chrissy Dunn. His kick though was rushed, and he had a little bit more time, and easy picking that one off was Hutz, because Nagel wasn't in the right position to present, and that was one they'll look back on. However, Hutz has just kicked it straight down Borshman's throat on the wing.
They're playing kick to kick with each other at the moment. Neither side wants to hang on to it too long, as that's a good chip back into the middle. But Leongatha need to, this is where they've got into trouble. They either need to chip it around, but they keep going to that dead pocket, which is a hard one to try and set anything up, and that goes out of bounds. Yeah, Nagel was the target again. You're exactly right. And we know how Leongatha like to switch the football, but to these conditions, just cause them to be a little bit gun-shy in doing that. I think so, and it's just such a hard one. You can tell they look for it. They kick one little 15-1 in, and then they don't want to pull the trigger on that second one. And I guess when you've got a 2-goal deficit, you don't need to do that early on. Yeah, and with the breeze blowing straight into your face, it makes it hard. So we're going to stoppage, and we're 55 metres out. It is the 25.5-minute mark of this first quarter.
Just a message from Wonga. He's making a comeback. He's just seen the food and he's making a comeback.
Great run down from behind. It wasn't rewarded though. Trying to work hard was Bowman at ground level. No one can really pick it up in there. O'Brien dives on the pack. They push and niggle. Carr and Bowman have a bit of a howdy-doody. And again, 45 metres out now from Leongatha's goal. The stoppage. Willis got a hand on it. Didn't go too far, so Willis decided to grab it and take on 3 tacklers. Reed and Fleming, and again it fires up off the back of this pack. I reckon Bowman might be giving a bit of extra attention to Ed Carr there from a couple I saw that he just may have put in there. Again, Willis couldn't quite get it down to his Rovers. Hard work by Channing at ground level. There's a free kick being paid off this, and I think it's going against Alex Carr, and it'll go in the way of Borshman, and he just puts it straight in. Top of the square it goes. Front spot was Nagel. Can't get it on the first bite. Good work by Hutz it was. Soccer off the ground by Carr. Allowed Channing to quickly come in at the top of the 50 and try and win it. Ball bobbles out. Bowman was there, kicks around his body. He's kept it skinny, he missed everything. And it is out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 26 and a half minutes gone.
Skardon Gippsland Football League Grand Final is on its way out there in Sheilorn North, 2-1-13. They lead Hill End 1 straight goal.
Conditions at the moment, overcast, sun shining though, breeze blowing across the ground from the social room side to the famous gum tree here at Maffra. And most of the play is on that far side. We're inside forward 50 at the moment for Leongatha, ball not going anywhere. And we'll have another ball up, another stoppage.
Good to see Benny Brunt's okay at the moment.
Oh, that his toe rope's working.
Still in the oval.
He's just come to the bench to get a little bit more extra rope. He couldn't quite get it to the far pocket.
Defences are holding firm at the moment, boys. The last 11 combined inside 50s have realised no score.
Wow.
So again, we have a ball up.
Interesting, we talk about the two loose players. It looks like Michael Coleman's, he's just swapped with Alex Carr, so might be running through a midfield rotation as well, rather than playing that usual
Beautiful tap,
sweeper.
by Willis over the top to Brown. And in the pocket, Nagel quickly grabbed it. It was touched though. Harry then grabbed it. That didn't go the required 15. And back there helping out is Bedgood. And have a look at all the numbers, boys. There is 2 players in the back half of this ground, and only just because they're on the far wing. All the rest nearly inside this defensive forward 50 here for Maffra, as they work really hard to clog things up late in the last quarter.
And Maffra's got 15 of those blokes within about 20 metres of Leongatha's goal. They're really trying to lock it down.
And Leongatha have got all numbers with this quick kick. They just want to sort of wait for the siren to sound, I think, and take this out unless they're going to run it out by hands. There's a free kick, and now they get a chance, Maffra. Ben O'Brien. That would be Daniel O'Brien. As he kicks it out to the near side, out in front of Lambourne. Going back was Harry, who left it behind, allowed Lambourne to win it, over to Channing. He just blazes away to the wing. He's got some good purchase on it. It's going to hit some open space. It is West away. Closing in quickly is Bennett, but the numbers will prevail. It's a little bit handball over the top. Sovereign to West away. His kick to the wing area, missed some targets. Oldham was there, took on the tackler of Channing, gave a quick handball to Bowman. Left foot drop punt area into the shallow pocket. As the siren sounds, and there's a fight right in front of the Leongatha coaching staff, and big Big Huts tried to take. I was going to say Big Pizza Huts tried to take on a couple of them there at the moment. He likes a little bit of a niggle.
Not the one to try and scrap with either.
No, right on the quarter time. Nagel's in there as well. Lambourne says hello. Nagel gives him a little tap to the kidneys. Both sides separate. Maffra will be happy with that start. They lead it 3 goals straight. Carr and Bedgood might be just an interesting one. They're on the same side there. Just noticed something a little bit, but Maffra lead it 3 goals straight, 18. Leongatha a 1-1-7. It's an 11-point margin. Maffra got all their goals within the first 4 minutes of play, and then Leongatha was able to shut things down.
Is pretty even. Maffra 11 to Leongatha 10. Centre clearances Maffra 3-2. Free kicks Maffra 5-4. The marks Leongatha had 16-15. Contested marks Maffra 4-2. And marks inside 52 to Maffra and none to Leongatha. The ruckman Ben Willis had 16 hit-outs that quarter. Harry 4. Jones Reid 5. Main stat winner for Maffra was Ed Carr with 9 disposals, 4 kicks, 5 handballs, a kick, 3 clearances and 3 inside 50s. For Leongatha, Hayden Brown 6 disposals and Luke Bowman 5.
Well, we'll get some scores for you a moment in around the grounds. We've got this second quarter about to get underway, and Reed's doing the ruck work, but Willis got it down to Marriott. Over to Brown, gets it to the wing area. Olden delivers inside 50. Lloyd drops the mark he should have taken. Nagel swooped on it. It might bounce to the top of the square. It does, but then it goes right and left angles, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
When you've got that much space between you and your backman, you've got plenty of air in between. They're the marks that Lloyd needs to be taken.
He's usually got beautiful really hands.
Yep.
Not on that occasion. Inside forward 50 boundary throw-in. Over the back of the 2 ruckmen. Willis went and got it again. Shuffled it out somehow. Handball out was from Marriott. Oh, driven tackle. And in a bit of trouble is Lloyd, as he dumped him into the ground, did Ed Carr. And he was slow to get up, the big man. Ball up goes again. Huts lost the footy. Tried to crash his way through, and he's been given a free kick from the umpire. No, he hasn't. He's given it the other way. Can you believe it?
Elbow.
Umpire Jackson it is.
So, Jackson. He's
Michael.
got 2 gloves.
I think the umpire said that Huts has put an elbow up as
he came through.
Yeah.
Well, the big fella, Big Benny Willis, will have the shot on goal for Leongatha.
I'm not backing him.
Well, he'll kick it at least. From 40 metres it does. He kicks it. It's on its way. It doesn't quite make the distance. There's another free kick. This time it's going Maffra's way.
It was unnecessary. It was just someone at the front there just gave a little shove out that wasn't needed. It flew over the back anyway.
Well, Reed's clearing kick is not going to get it outside defensive 50. That's marked by Bowman. Well, again, Bowman, he's just looking to pass it off. Kicks it to a hot spot. Nagel was there as well with Lambourne. And which way will this go? I think the umpire said...
That's a good call.
It's a jump ball. We'll have a ball up. Both got their hands on it. And if only this TV that we're watching at the moment with the Red Onion guys could show us a replay, but we can't. So we'll have it as a jump ball. The ball up occurred. No one really won it. Stone tried to crash his way through and get boot the ball. Couldn't do so. Quick handball comes out to Brown. And Hutz is in the goal square as the goalkeeper does. And takes the mark. He clears it out this time to defensive 50. Skelling came in to spoil. There's a free kick over the shoulder to Coleman. And
No, there's no.
oh, you got to be kidding me. As Coleman caught one. And the umpire now says my ball.
He thinks it's night time because he's seeing stars. Have a look at him.
He doesn't argue though. He's a true professional. We've travelled 2.5 minutes. Still a margin of 11 points as the kick from Bowman.
Wow.
And nicely done. Oldham has got great elevation and marks in front of Clossy.
How good is he for a mid-sized player overhead?
Rookie.
Unreal. And a rookie player as well.
He certainly is. He'll have a shot on goal. And we've been told by the Maffra legends here that this is not the goal-scoring end, that the goals might be better off kicked down the far end, the netball courts. However, we've seen plenty of goals so far, and Oldham goes back and lets the breeze bring it from right to left and goes straight through the middle. Leongatha gets the first of this second quarter.
Just the start that Leongatha needed. Obviously, Paul Cabras, we'll say. Sorry, Cabras. I'm hopeless with those names. But we'll say the Leongatha coach would have given him a fair old spray. He was pretty worked up there at siren time as well. So I'm sure that he put them back into their place in regards to where they need to be level-headed wise, and they've got off to the start they needed.
We're on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard for the second quarter, and we have a 5-point game here with Maffra sitting on 3 straight 18. Leongatha 2-1-13.
Willis with a tap. Brown runs onto it, lowered the shoulder. He did it professionally. Advantage was paid. Marriott inside forward 50 to Lloyd.
That's the one.
And he hits him on the chest. Just got over the top of Fleming's hand, and Lloyd is directly in front. And like we've seen in the first quarter, they might get goals in clumps. Maffra got them within the space of a minute and a half, and it was 3 in a row. And now it's Leongatha's turn.
Let's go both times. Marriott brought the ball inside 50.
As Lloyd, he poked at that one. That's a shocking kick off the boot. He's missed the point post by, I'd say, 10 metres. Out of bounds on the full.
You can nearly say yuck on that. That was terrible.
I think he was allowing for a hurricane there.
I'm not sure what he was doing.
Lambourne brings it back into play. Long kick. Johnson was there, got held. Free kick.
Leongatha's midfield's just started to get back on top as well. They've really started, and as Danny Butcher gets put down, it's been caught there.
That's a free kick. Good work. Great work by Paddy to pick that up.
Yeah, well done, Paddy.
There is a lot going on off the ball here, unfortunately. Everyone's stuck in everyone.
I need to go around the grounds. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. Quarter time in the North Gippy. It's Churchill 5-5-35. They lead Rosedale 2-1-13.
We'll get a Gippsland Power score for you as well. Of course, they're in a big semi-final clash.
They've just kicked another 2 goals, so they lead 6-5-41 to 2-3-15. They've really put some space between them and the Western Jets.
Well, Marriott took the mark at half back, but his kick was nicely read by Butcher. That's Danny. He takes the risky kick in middle. It's beautifully done. Reed, mate, that's got to be 50 surely. He didn't get called to play on, and that will be 50 as Reed will have it. And he'll go right down the guy on the mark. Should just about be at about the 20-metre mark. And he's not. He's about 35. Well, as Reed still with a...
He's still a backman, isn't he?
He is. Well, he's a backman. We're calling him a ruckman. As Reed comes in, will kick from 40, starts it to the left, and it brings it back a long, long way. And it goes through for a minor score. On the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon, your locally owned, Aussie-owned processor. Solid jobs are now available at Greenham Meatworks.
First behind for Maffra, 3-1-19 to Leongatha 2-1-13. We've played 6 minutes second quarter.
Scud, quarter time in the mid-Gippy, and it's game on down there as well. It's Hill End, 2-4-16 at quarter time. They lead Yallourn North 2-2-14.
All right, Coleman outside his defensive 50, trying to win it. and then gave it quickly to a Leongatha opponent, and we got wrapped up. We have a ball up right at the top of the 50.
Just looking at the conditions, the wind it's still blowing a gale out there, but it has eased off a little bit, and I don't know, it definitely is still favouring Maffra's end that they're kicking to at the moment, but I think it's more going across the ground and favouring that dead side.
Well, that's exactly where the boundary throwing occurs at the moment, and we've travelled 6.5 minutes into this second quarter. The only goal coming off the boot of Cameron Olden at the 3-minute mark. Ball's back into play. Ed Carr kicked it straight over his head. He tried to kick it over his head and went towards the boundary line. We'll do this one again. No one really can win the clean stoppages, can we? The stoppages are pretty tough to win on a day like today.
Yeah, exactly right. There hasn't been too many clean midfield breaks. Leongatha's got a couple this quarter, but that's been really the lot of them for the match.
Reed's able to grab this one out of the ruck and run away from Willis, but nicely done by Chrissy Dunn to smother it. And again, the ball goes to ground. It's in dispute. There's lots of numbers around it. And we'll have another ball up, Boxer.
We do now, and it's funny how we see the game set up now differently in this quarter by Maffra. They're prepared to stay back a bit as well, so they're not zoning as hard as what they were that first quarter.
Marriott ran through that stoppage and lost the footy. He claimed that he didn't have it. He had it at some stage. And again, we've got a half-forward flank stoppage from another ball up.
It's one of those that gets called, like it gets the non-call, doesn't it? Because it's half of one, 6 of the other, so they go, nah, we'll leave it.
So Willis tries to thump it and clear it out of the area. Maffra pump it back into that congested zone. O'Brien with a quick kick hit up Johnson, and now he goes inboard. Adams diving, can't get there. The slips catch was on. Bedgood stood up in the tackle. He handled over his shoulder. Skelling's the last one. He attacked it with pace. Nearly lost it. He does in the end. Butcher swooped on it. Does a don't argue. Snaps around a body and misses everything. Well, that would have been goal of the year.
And the umpires called the don't argue. Scott? Yep.
So the high...
Oh, no, yeah,
out of bounds on the full.
Sorry, apologies.
Accepted. Only just. Margin 6 points. It is in favour of Maffra. Clearing kick from Leongatha. Willis was edged underneath the football. Bowman now has to go and win the football that bobbles around. Couldn't do so. And again, we've got a stoppage. 52 metres around now from Maffra's goal. With an AFL check score. Oh, there's no games today. Did we get one from last night, Boxer?
No, we haven't. I'm not sure what the score was there, Darryl.
Oh, yeah. As Hopkins goes into the midfield, kicks around his body, goes straight up and down. No need to shake your head, Boxer. The listeners want to know what happened last night.
You idiot.
3/4 time in Gippsland Power's game. They lead by 26 points. 2 goals to Harvey Neoculis, 1 to Caleb Sarong, Fraser Phillips, Josh Smith and Nick Proud.
Well, prelim final up for grabs there. Win that one. They go into a prelim. Good luck to those Power boys. Back in the field of play. Willis grabbed it, handballed out to Hopkins, quickly tackled. And that was by Carr. That's Alex.
I do enjoy the fact that they've changed that rule now where you can take it out of the ruck and give the opportunity to get the handball out without causing a free kick.
It hasn't really helped our stoppages.
No, it hasn't.
And we have a blood rule, I think, and it's going to be the big fella, Big Willis. He has a speck of blood on his knee.
23 hit out so far to Willis.
Do you think when Willis goes off and Harry comes on, that Reed has that spell as well, and he comes off, and maybe you put a
even a Dan Bedgood in there and chop out for a couple of minutes.
Or Benny Brunt, you could do something there, just something a little bit differently, just to give him that little bit of rest that he might need.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't think the Maffra coaching staff have got you plugged into their ear, Boxer.
No, they haven't. But I think that obviously the Maffra side really coached well that first quarter. Their matchups were spot on, and they did really nullify Leongatha, but hence the change around now.
You're just saying that because they're sitting in the room next to us, Boxer.
And they're feeding us.
So we're going to stop it. Reed, good work with that tap. Just as Boxer predicted, he wanted him out of there. We'll have another boundary throw in. 10 and a half minutes in.
Oh, no.
6 point margin. Oh, this is
kidding me. Now it's prawn sticks.
Well, I'm not coming home.
Thank you. We won't be able to get home. We won't be able to move.
I can't see me commentary sheet. We've got that much food on the desk at the moment. We are being looked after here, second to none. And again, the ball comes in, and again, we'll have a stoppage at half forward. Paul Carter, anything to report? Key stats?
Ed Carr's had another stat this quarter, which takes him into double figures on 10 Luke Bowman, Tom Marriott. Marriott had 4 disposals this quarter after a quiet first one.
The quick kick from that stoppage missed Johnson on a lead. Boundary throw in.
I got food sweats. Oh, God.
11 minutes in, big moments thanks to Monticello's this afternoon. Don't forget, Smirnoff Red Label 700ml at $33 and Jim Beam 700ml $33 as well, only at Monticello's. Big moments of the game. We've had 1 goal kicked in this second quarter and we've travelled 11 and a half minutes. The ball, literally for the last 5 minutes, has not left this half-forward flank where Maffra and Leongatha currently are. It's in the attacking half-forward line for Maffra. We've had 1 little kick that went inside 50 and they come straight back out to that same spot. We have a stoppage again. Butcher did the ruck duty against Harry. Quick kick by Brown. We're outside there on the wing. Maffra trying to get it back though. Reed with the over the shoulder. Play on to the umpire. Bowman trying to crash his way through. Handballs over the shoulder to Nagel. Now they've got some space but they can't get to the football. Maffra's pressure's been good. Jolly flicks it out the back to Geishan. Now to Fleming. Can Adams pick it up? He can't. So Leongatha swoop on it. Bowman gave it to Hopkins. Dunn just fumbled once, twice, 3 times. Umpire says my ball.
Tom Jolly just fell behind play.
Yeah, a little bit behind the play as well there too, Daryl. One thing about Leongatha, they're prepared to play that 2 extra midfielders because Plemon and Reed will play behind the ball as well, so they should be winning these stoppages.
Free kick to Butcher over the shoulder.
How tall is Jackson Harry? Because his leap is unbelievable in the ruck.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. He'd be just on the 6 foot, I reckon.
You would think,
incredible. Yeah. Be at 6 foot, 6'1". He has got a good leap. Butcher drives it in the middle. Nicely done to Bedgood. Can we get some open play now from this these two sides? As Bedgood just slows it up. He wants to hold on the football. Don't go to the dead side. He goes that side though. Butcher's on a long searching lead. Doesn't get there. He has to wait for it to bounce. Can he run onto this one? He does. Pick it up. Snap around his body. No one's on the end of it. Johnson tries to win it. Tap it towards the boundary line where Channing is. Great work by John Butcher. Ran down from behind. And the ball squirts out over for another boundary throw in. We're trying to get this game up and about and exciting, Paddy.
Yeah, but the thing about too with Leongatha, they seem a little bit more physical today. They're not sort of because of obviously the way the conditions are.
Is it taken away from their run though?
It does take it away.
Well, from this stoppage, Butcher again snaps around his body and marking that one. Does it go the required? It does. Tom Jolly is the marking one. Just went the required 15. The crowd don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
And Jolly will go back and have a shot on goal. It'll be the first goal, if he can put it through, for Maffra since the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. We're now at the 14-minute mark of the second. As Tom Jolly comes in, he keeps it low, he puts it across the face. And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon,
takes Maffra to 3-2-20, a 7-point lead over Leongatha, or 2-1-13, right on the 14-minute mark of the second quarter.
So right in the last line is Westaway. He's allowed to roll and play on a kick to the far side. Wobbly, ugly looking kick. There's a really tough one to mark. It was one of those finger breakers.
I don't think anyone was going to have to worry about marking that one. That was horrible.
Guess where the footy is.
I think we're underestimating their conditions as well. When I've just noticed when the players have come off, they're really hurt. They're taxed and they're gassed because those wind conditions as well. There's more food.
Marriott again gets wrapped up in the tackle. And we have a stoppage. I'm going into a food coma. Take over, Boxer.
I'm done.
Willis with a big tap. Again, Coleman tried to put it back into that congested area. I think Maffra like this. I think this is the way they want the game to be played, to be honest.
I think when it was the Bensdale game where they actually did this as well, they knew they'd got a lead, and which they obviously haven't got enough lead to win it yet today, but they are happy to shut it down for patches of the game and let it just be a real battle and slug out and not necessarily gain a lot of territory.
Well, we know how Leongatha started last week, though. Simply unstoppable, on fire, and Maffra didn't want that to happen today, and we know that these two sides don't have shootouts, and I think Maffra certainly like it. And we've travelled 15 minutes into the second quarter, and Maffra 3-2-20, and Leongatha 2-1-13.
And the reason for that, we spoke about it pre-game, is the matchups.
Yep.
They match up so well.
They certainly do. Butcher with a quick kick from that stoppage. It goes inside forward 50 again. Looking for the free kick. Butcher turns around and asks the question. The umpire says, no, we'll throw it in. And again, that boundary umpire and that field umpire down that end of the ground at the moment, working overtime. As Butcher now takes the ruck duties up against Willis. The wind just takes it back towards the top of the 50. Willis just slaps it out of there. Adams will be the first one to pick it up. He spun out of the tackle of Willis, gave it to O'Brien. Low kick. And taking that over was Kelly. And again, guess what? Boundary throw-in.
Easy money afternoon if you're the boundary umpire on this side of the ground, eh?
Exactly right. The other ones are in these pay.
Always looking to make a quick buck, you are, boxer.
He's doing nothing. Isn't it got a sweat up?
Next week we'll see you as a boundary umpire. Top of the 50. Quick kick by Brown. Barrels it out of there. Does he keep it in the field of play? Only just. He gains the metres. And now we've got a boundary throw.
Not only that, they have to throw it in against the breeze as well.
He's spent that umpire. That's all. Have a look at him.
They've got two each side, so...
This one on this side just brought a deck chair and a pina colada. Wow. Ball back into play. Willis in the front spot. The ball lands short. Dunn was there, working hard. He lost the football, and he'll get a free kick, I believe, for holding the man. He didn't have it. He got held onto after he got rid of the football. So Chrissy Dunn, half back. He looked to come in board. It wasn't there. There's a bit of a tussle on at the wing area. Brown's having a go at O'Brien, the youngster, and that kick dropped short, and Coleman and Butcher both had eyes for the football. Luckily, they didn't collect each other. Well, they did, but they didn't hurt each other.
As much as Danny Butcher's great to have a teammate because you love watching how hard he goes in, I think sometimes it's bad when you can get in the line of him as well, and he's not going to stop just for you either.
Reid put it down. Great work by Marriott. Gave it to Davidson, who just fumbled it. Borshman got one over the shoulder. The umpire said play on. G'day in front spot. Have we got advantage? Yes, we have. It goes inside forward 50. Harry has to spoil it. Goes towards the boundary now, and that was a chance for Leongatha. And Harry just got caught behind. Great work by the defender in Cade Renoy.
I was watching Harry then too. He stopped. He actually stopped because he thought the free kick was going to hold off, and then the umpire played the advantage, which was definitely there, and got caught behind.
Well, can we get something from this stoppage? We haven't had too many goals from stoppages today. And again, there's a whistle, and it's going Leongatha's way. It's going against O'Brien, and it will go to Hayden Brown. And these two have been going at it for the last couple of minutes. Coleman's not happy with it.
Brown's 11th disposal. He's having a good game.
He certainly is.
He's just a bit far out for me, Daryl, and for a left footer as well.
With that breeze coming directly in his face, you'd think.
Shows how long the game's been over on the other side there. Leongatha have just rotated all four of their players.
Yep, and have a look where all the Maffra players are sitting in that hole there.
Yeah, they know exactly where it's going to land. Plemming will mark this one as Hayden Brown. He's a great little helicopter.
Wow.
And in the end, he's just been dumped as well by O'Brien. He'll get another shot on goal. Surely. Well, you give the first free kick, and now you don't give the second one. Right. Well, it's a minor score, and it's going to get willing. As the ball quickly comes back in, Paul Carter.
It's a 6-point game. Maffra 3-2-20, Leongatha 2-2-14, Greenham, Gippsland scoreboard 19 minutes.
Wow, keep an eye on this one. This is starting to boil over, you'd think. The pressure's picked up. Good work by Johnson. Underground handball, put Brunt under enormous pressure. It's physical out there. It's lifted. You can sense the occasion at the moment. It's only a 6-point margin. And there are spot fires happening everywhere, Boxer.
Daryl, this is very exciting. This is the stuff we like to see. Apologies to Brown there too. I thought he was a left footer. That's how good he is on both sides of the body.
Bowman, strong tackle. Reid throwing his weight around as well. Umpire lets it go just a little bit. Now Carr gets swung around in the tackle.
This is about to ignite, I think. This has just got that feel to it that the intensity's just gone up a bit, and the umpires need to be careful to keep this under control.
Yeah, it certainly has. There's a few guys running with each other in terms of matchups, and that's how it is important. Johnson shrugged a tackle. He's been good. He kicks it out towards the wing. Does it get over to the Jolly? It just missed him. Westaway goes the other way, and Jolly ripped his head off. And Westaway gets the free kick on the wing. Now they can square it up to the near side. It gets over the top just. That side was from Paddy.
That was a brave kick by Leongatha, one that they need to do to split this game up.
Sculling gets it down towards Olden, who cops one around the ears and then gets another one. Olden does well. Handballs to Sovereign. He missed the target by hand. Here's Maffra's chance. It's Bennett. He gives it across down to the run of Brunt. Left foot kick. No one down.
On his head.
And there's a free kick downfield.
Yeah, there's an apology.
Yeah, was it? Good.
Well, there's a free kick going Maffra's way. It'll go to Tom Jolly.
And Brown's come off now too. He's bent over there too. So there's a bit happening off the ball. It's getting exciting here now.
We need some goals. Jolly, it's going to be 1 on 3. Butcher's got a couple to beat. They go up and he couldn't.
Mark.
And a great mark in the end. They had all the numbers, Leongatha. Verboon, that should be 52, and it is. As he was anticipating the handball, Butcher, and it didn't
You
come.
can just see it happening.
Yep, and it didn't happen, and he stepped over the mark, and it's 50.
How good's Baboon been today?
He
I
has
know we've
been
been
very
talking about
good.
other players around the ball. His intercept marks. That could have been another 50 there too.
Butcher thought the 50, that was it, at the top of the 50. They get it to the far side. Westerway's out there. He hasn't got too much on except for Harry. He can elevate it, gets over his head. Hutz meets it, attacks it, and blazes it back towards the half-forward flank of Maffra. But there's no one there. Will he find touch? The wind takes it. And guess what? We're back on the half-forward flank for Maffra for a boundary throw-in. It's spent... We've travelled 21 minutes. I reckon it's spent 15 minutes in this position on the ground in this second quarter.
It definitely has Scud, and this poor band dropper,
Yeah, I was
he's
just
coming
thinking
15 metres, he's that stuffed. He has to get that ball in.
Willis slapped it out. O'Brien read it. Bowman tackled. Johnson with the don't argue. Handled out the back now to Lambourne. That was kicked around the body, by Whelan. It was short. Sandbrook wrapped up in the tackle. Carr does well. That's Alex. Then gets his head ripped off, but at this stage it's a ball up.
I can tell you how much it has been between the arcs today. It's only 9 inside 50s for this quarter, 5 to Maffra, 4 to Leongatha.
Yep.
We've played
Incredible.
22 minutes.
I reckon we've had about 55 ball ups right in this very spot. 60 metres out from Maffra's goal.
There we go.
Willis's kick goes out of bounds on the full of the wing. It's going to come back there.
Someone better get a stretcher for that umpire very shortly. But
Kick goes back and nice little kick in the end.
It's like a
Found
stalemate,
O'Brien.
isn't it?
Everyone sort of stopped. Even I didn't know what was going on. O'Brien has it. He's too far out to score. He's 60 metres. He puts it low. Who
Great
presents? Oh, Butcher got low. Nearly got it. Great work by Baboon. Handball, though, missed the target. Hopkins runs onto it. Nicely done to Kelly. He kicks to the middle of the ground. Harry. Oh, great work by Clossy.
Good courage.
Got a hand on it. Lambourne was back there. Quickly run down by Olden. It's a foot race now. Clossy goes to ground. Olden gives it back to Ganane. Ganane handballs over the top. Chrissy Dunn's there. Great work by Adams to slap it to Hutz.
Brilliant.
And Hutz gets it out to Renoy, who can get it towards Johnson. Spoiled by Bowman. Great passage of play, both sides. It's second semi-final day, and you can tell why these two sides are the best in the comp.
Can I just quickly say, we spoke about both sides forward lines for the game. Maybe we should have spoken about their backs. Both back sixes have been unbelievable this quarter in some pretty trying positions. There was a turnover there. Leongatha could have forced 20 minutes out from Maffra's goal, and yeah, it's just been brilliant.
Yep, sure has. 23 minutes gone. 6 points is the margin. It's Maffra's way at the moment, but they haven't kicked a goal since the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. The ball's on the wing. Nagel gave it to Hopkins, who quickly kicked it out of bounds on the full.
I do love Maffra's style today. They're really closing in on Leongatha, so they're not giving them that space that they like to have, and to get that run on happening as well. That play we just spoke about earlier, just then, that was their best part of play when they rebound the transition. Only to be cut off down here as well. But
Free kick to Marriott, I think, possibly back. Yeah, Marriott's got a free kick back.
you can just see what Maffra want to do. You can just see what they want to do, and they've done it well so far.
So ball's on the wing area. Marriott's touches this quarter's improved from the first.
It's 7 now. This
Yeah.
quarter.
Has had a good second quarter. Marriott's kick towards half forward. Reed's in the front spot. Harry flew. Took him out of the contest. Hutz was there. Nice little handball out the back to Renoy. Gets around the tackle of Hopkins now. Kicks it back to that wing area. Big fly. Sandbrook was the one taking the mark. Nicely read. And he's about to...
No, it's other way. He's taken Ben Brunt out of the contest. Someone flew through a knee in the back and took him out of the contest to clear the way for that mark.
So Maffra go forward with a bit of an open forward line. Lands in the head there of Channing. Picked up nicely done by Cooper. Oh, and then caught one high after he got rid of it. Didn't like it. The Johnson. And Johnson has just laid him out. And he will be sent off. The umpire was 2 minutes away, 2 metres away, I should say. And Leongatha don't like it. They go to him and is out on the ground.
So it's a yellow card,
It's
Scott.
still down. It's a yellow. Okay. And, well, he got the first one high from the elbow.
Oh, hang on, 2 umpires, sorry, Scud. We've got 2 umpires, so it looks like he's been reported as well, maybe.
Well, there you go. That was... and
It
he's...
is yellow card.
Yep, it's a yellow, so he'll be sent off. There'll be a 15 minutes for Jack Johnson.
And a 50 as well, by the look of it.
It'll be one short. And the free kick will go Leongatha's way. And they're just asking the question here. So Kyle Cooper is the one who will have it. And no 50-metre penalties, interesting box.
Well, that should have been.
No, the good thing with that is that for Jack Johnson at least, and Leongatha don't like Jack Johnson at the moment at all, but Cooper did get up and take his kick, so maybe it wasn't as forceful as what we first saw. The squaring kick out wide to Forrester. He's got a couple on over the top to Sovereign. Oh, he dropped the mark. Butcher comes in. He's just holds his ground. Sovereign goes again. Good work. He's made one mistake and then he coughed it up. Channing was there. Oh, great handball by Carr. Left foot kick around from Coleman. Top of the 50 it goes. Verboon was back there. Brunt as well. Handball from Butcher was picked off. Verboon's been fantastic today. Brunt gets tackled high and goes to ground, and the umpire says, my ball, top of the 50.
So this is where Leongatha have got to be very smart off the bench here. Who do they make the loose player? And now they've got to take advantage of it.
Well, they've got to use them, don't they?
That's right, they've got to take advantage of it.
26 minutes past, it's still a 6-point margin. Marriott's kick around the body towards the half-back flank there of Leongatha. Well done by Coleman. Took on 2 tacklers and gave it to Brunt. Sovereign dumped him over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
What would be a killer blow to Leongatha if Maffra can score on this play,
especially late.
I was about to say, really bad timing for Jack Johnston to do that and get sent off, because now Leongatha are going to get the best part of half time. They're going to have 10 minutes to plan for in that third quarter where he's not going to be on the field.
Willis taps it out of his defensive 50. Coleman picked it up, handball to no one. Ball comes out, Marriott was there, picks it up, had some got through 2 tacklers. The good work by Olden. Oh, Forrester's been gang tackled by 3 Maffra opponents. He got crunched early by Benny Brunt, and the umpire says holding the ball on Forrester.
How often do you see it?
Yeah.
One player down, opposition side that hasn't got the luxury of having the 18 get on top. So Maffra are doing that right now.
Ed Carr thumps it in. Top of the square it goes. Butcher's got 2 to beat. Can't quite get it. Ball's in a dangerous spot. Top of the square it is. Sandbrook's got to be clean. He is. Gives it over to the top there to Dunn. He gets it out to Forrester. Westaway it is, trying to lead the way. Just slaps it forward, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Scud, this fantastic app that I've got that I was trying to get you onto before is telling us that there's rain coming, and it definitely is. So a lot of different factors of the game could be laid out here in the next couple of minutes.
Big moments thanks to Monticello's. It's 3-2-20. Leongatha are 2-2-14. Maffra lead by 6 points. At the top of the 50 now. Running back there is Whelan. Boundary line beats them again. 28 minutes have gone. We've had a lot of stoppages, only 1 goal, and we've travelled 28 minutes, Paul.
Yeah, another 16 hit-outs to Ben Willis this quarter.
And Reid has had
4.
You'd sort of expect that. Clearances, though, pretty even.
Yeah, 8 to 9 Leongatha's way.
Well, Willis got another one. Bedgood tries to slap it out of that congested area of the ruck duties. Brunt goes back, bends over, couldn't pick it up. Working in a tight space, Butcher kicks it high. And Westaway dropped the mark. He's happy to see it. It's a boundary throw-in.
North Gippsland Football League around the grounds thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. It is Rosedale have hit the front. 8-4-52. They lead Churchill 6-8-44.
Jeez, that's going to be a great match this afternoon. And just quickly, Gippsland Power lead by 39 points over the Western Jets. They've all but wrapped up a preliminary final.
Great work by the Power boys. Butcher had a fresh airy. Hopkins had it. We'll get an AFL score for you for a moment from the game last night as we have a boundary throw in 80 metres out from goal.
I'm going to find a spot for that prawn in a minute, Daryl.
Funnily enough, we do actually have a live AFL score. The Bulldogs have kicked the first goal against GWS and lead 1 goal straight to nothing.
What was the margin last night, Paddy, in the Geelong game?
10 points.
I'm too scared to say it on air because Boxer will hit me.
Top of the 50, no one's really going anywhere. Brown just handballs out. Huts will attack this and went the man and not the ball. Except at ground level there, working hard as Whelan. Nicely picked up by Stone. He was quickly wrapped up in a Huts tackle and slung to ground. And gee, he's a physical player. It's just what you want as a key back. He rolls back now to his defensive post. He'll go to Nick Nagel and he'll probably give him a bit of a bump as well. He goes next to him. O'Brien tried to win it. Sandbrook outworked him and then lost a footy. Borshman put a tackle on. 29 and 3/4 minutes have passed and we're stuck. It's a 6-point margin. The only goal has been from Cameron Olden, and that was back at the 3-minute mark of this second quarter. Bowman handballed over the top. The run from Cali. Just tapped it forward. Borshman, quick kick. High to the wing area. Great work by Huts again. Body work was strong and then the spoil was good. Whelan to Reid. Now to Carr. That's Alex. Kick around the body. High to half forward flank. Sandbrook flies. Drops the chest mark. Brunt was there. Sandbrook goes again. And you wouldn't believe it. We have a ball up on the half forward flank attacking Maffra side.
And Brunt gets that ball clean and he gets it inside 50. It doesn't get clean. We've got another stoppage.
Willis holds his ground. Slaps it out again. Whelan, good work by Hopkins, good tackle, gave it up now, run of Bowman, spun around in a tackle, good work by Olden, got it back to Hopkins, kick was partially smothered, Bowman,
Fend off.
the massive, don't argue, he just hit Whelan.
He was just had that stuff on his chin.
Yeah, he's just cleaned it up off him.
Clean it up.
As Whelan puts it back down, Bedgood pushed at his defender at ground level. Cooper's recovered okay from the left jab, and he's got a free kick going back to Westaway.
31 minutes gone so far. There can't be long left in this quarter. I know there was that little bit of when Jack Johnson was sent off and the blood rule, but there can't be too long to go.
Kick to the wing area. Nagel, big pack. Great work by Renoy to rove it and kick it back down the line out of bounds on the full. It's ended 5 rows back as Westaway will wait for this one.
That boundary umpire will have to replace his whistle.
This one.
He must have replaced his shoulder at this rate.
This boundary umpire's looking at the canteen.
They should rotate the umpires halfway through the quarter, maybe. You know,
I've never seen
swap sides.
Yeah, they should. Well, I've never seen an umpire with an iPhone.
They've got 2 on this side.
Checking his Facebook. Checking Facebook, are they?
They might be talking to each other.
Westaway has it on that dead half forward flank again. Kicks it down the line, close to the line. Huts it is who spoils. And over for a boundary throw in. True centre wing, far side of the ground.
Well, you can see the stoppages. We've played 32 minutes so far.
Yep.
So obviously that's playing havoc.
With one goal.
With one goal. And 7 minutes have come off the clock for Johnson as well for the send-off.
Yeah,
so
that's probably the good news for
Maffra. Yep.
Bowman won that clearance, gave it kick towards Ganane, and Geishan wrapped him up in a tackle. No prior opportunity. Ball up, 6-point margin still.
Maffra will take this as a win. They're playing
Absolutely.
one short. This is a win for them at the moment. They've just got to keep them off the scoreboard.
The only thing that might concern Butch is when you think about it, they haven't kicked a goal since the 5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yep.
Well, tap over the top. Olden was there, gave it backwards to Sandbrook, steps around one, then barrels one, 25 metres, high in the air, lands in front of Borshman. Davidson was there, trying to win it is Ganane, got around the tackle of Fleming, kicks it inside, going back was Harry, rove there by Forrester. Hutz has just shoved him in the back. He is physical as you'll get as a defender, and he does well. He gets it out the run, and Jolly kicked it, then got shoved downfield, and there's a free kick downfield. It's
gotta be.
It's going to go to Bennett. They're going to try and get the 2 Leongatha defenders off Jolly, and the free kick will go to Bennett. Football now is going down. It goes inside forward 50 out the front there of Brunt. And we'll have a boundary throw in inside the forward 50 for Maffra. 30 metres around from goal on the near side, so there's a chance here for a stoppage goal perhaps at the 33.5 minute mark, if you don't mind. Have the timekeepers fallen asleep?
Well, they're probably getting fed as well.
They're in the food coma.
Jesus.
Willis took it out of the ruck. Working there was Bedgood. Bowman wrapped him up in a tackle. And everyone's asleep. 33 3/4 minutes gone. Second quarter, second semi-final here at Maffra. As Willis tapped it down. Bowman with a big don't argue again. He's getting those high don't argues. Butcher, this is Danny. Kicks it over the top. Can they get a mark inside forward 50? They can. Whelan, he handles over the top to Renoy. He will snap around his body at the 34-minute mark. Bennett tries to take a one-hander on the goal line, wrapped up by 2 Leongatha guys. And Cooper and Sovereign try to wrestle him over the line.
He dragged that in. He had 2 players on either side of him.
Dangerous spot, and the siren sounds, and that's it for a half of football. It hasn't been pretty. It's not high scoring, but boy, geez, has it been physical.
What a game we've got.
3 goals, 2-20 Maffra. They lead Leongatha by 6 points. 2-14. Jack Johnson is sent off. He's still got some time on the bench to start the third quarter. There's niggles everywhere. It's physical. There's a 50 stoppages at half forward on the far side of the ground, and it is an entertaining game of football, albeit 3 goals, 2-20.
Wow. So let's see what happens there.
We're doing shout-outs, are we? Shout-out to my granddaughter Dakota, who's playing Auskick at the Mall ground this afternoon at half-time.
What a beautiful
in
name,
the big
Dakota.
game. There we
That's
go.
a beautiful name, that, Dakota. Do you reckon you'd be able to piggyback me to the car afterwards? Because I'm full as a boot with his food. I just cannot believe it. So, did you see the umpires have made a change at half-time as well?
Have they?
Yeah, so we've got a new boundary umpire.
Well, about time.
Yeah, itching with the shoulder.
Over there. He's on the other side.
Oh, you get back over there, mate.
Keep going with the round of ground scores. Gippsland Power.
Yeah, so Gippsland Power lead by 35 points with not long to go, so they'll win that one to go through to a preliminary final. Harvey Neoklis has kicked 3, Ryan Sparks has kicked 2, Caleb Sarong, Fraser Phillips, Charlie Combin, Sam Flanders all chipping in with goals. And as far as disposals goes, Harry Peppers had 24 to lead the Power.
Going well,
good
Pep.
stuff.
Off the half-back flank there as the umpire's about to get the third quarter underway. Leongatha kicking towards the netball end of the grounds here. Maffra to the city end, and Reed and Willis do battle again. Willis tapped it down. Bowman couldn't get a clean gather on it. Coleman wrapped him up.
So it looks like Shelling's gone loose for Leongatha down back with Johnson still off. No, sorry. Someone else has gone loose, just as I say that. Rhett Kelly.
Rolls in, yep. So again, ball up just outside the centre circle for the second time. 20 seconds in. Misses there, Bowman, as Butcher tapped it out. Now Bowman goes and gets it again. Gives it to Kelly by hand, who kicks around his body. Harry is at the back spot. Couldn't get there. Hutts get a clearing handball out. It's Renoy and it is Borshman. Borshman taps it to himself. Coleman comes in to help and wrestles him over the boundary line. And another boundary throw in. I hate to say it, but look where we are. We're in the same position of the ground as we were during that second quarter.
Both sides have lined up the way they started the game as well too, Scud.
All right, ball comes back into play. Willis taps it over his head. Free kick, was it? No, Hopkins just left that one behind and waited. And we'll do it again.
Albeit Maffra being one short. And he's got about 6 minutes to go by my calculations, Scud.
Okay, so 6 minutes into this quarter, or?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, Willis taps it again. He's had all the tap work this afternoon. Repeating, Kieran Jones late out in this side. Ball bobbles around. Handball from Marriott was good. Kick around the body from Davidson. Drops at Dunn's feet. Hutz has been good. Shrugs a tackle. Just gave it up, though, to no one in particular. Now Davidson goes again. He quick little kick off the ground there was from Adams. He put it at the toes there of his defender in Coleman. And now Leongatha get it. A quick kick comes in from Davidson to a hot spot. It bounces over the top of Harry's head. Running onto this one is Hopkins. Good work by Geishan. Gave it to Jolly. He spins around, just kicks it to open space and says to Locking Chatty, go and get it, Jalocki. And he's got to about 5 metres on his teammate in Hopkins. He wins it, kicks it towards the boundary line. He's looking for touch. It might not go out. Bennett gets bowled over by Sovereign. Bennett pounces up to his feet, so does Sovereign. Good little one-on-one battle here. And they go to ground. Umpire quickly blows his whistle. And we'll ball it up 40 metres out.
It's exactly what Channing wanted. Just get the ball inside 50. We'll get that stoppage. We'll get numbers to the ball.
Hopkins is gassed after that effort, chasing down the Maffra forward. And I think Bedgood agreed with there, Paddy.
Yeah, just might have been off the shin, but probably over the line.
So boundary throw in now, inside Maffra's forward 50. So Butcher will do the ruck duties. Up against Big Willis. Front spot was Willis. He tapped it down. Marriott did well. Gave a handball up to Bowman. Got tackled. Lost the footy.
Jeez, he was lucky.
Said, my ball.
Jeez, he dropped that.
Just a shout out to our boundary umpire who thought he'd switch sides and gotten away from the ball. And he's just had another crack there, the poor fella.
Look out for him.
Willis again taps it. Tries to clear that congested area. Marriott spins around in a Channing tackle. Brunt tries to pick it up off the ground. Can't do so. Margin still sits at 6 points. And we haven't had many goals scored at all in this game. Last goal coming 3 minute mark of the second quarter. A clearing kick by Stone. Harry Marks on the wing. Can they move it quick? They've got one in board. Scalling's the one. He can mark it, turn around and go. On the far side is Baboon. Scalling goes into the forward line. Beautiful kick. It doesn't quite get there though. Geishan does well. Spoils it. Back to Fleming. Fleming lowers the eyes and finds Renoy.
I think he's missed a trick there. He had someone out in the far side. He could have just chipped to him. They could have run it in and had a better shot at lowering the eyes.
It was Davidson, the one that presented on the wing. And the kick back in the direction of Brunt. Couldn't get it. Marriott. Got over the shoulder.
Ooh.
And it was there, Boxer.
It was there, definitely there, but he could have gone the other way because he had the opportunity to kick.
No one on the mark, and Marriott's got the free kick, half forward flank. They got some numbers in. They want to go to this top side. They're all pointing to lead to the top side. No one goes there. He kicks it to the hot spot over the top of Lloyd's head. Bounces at the back. Coleman's there. So's done. Coleman, professionally done. Fumbles it over. Boundary throw-in.
The upside for Leongatha is they've got so many players that are down at the moment today. So, you know, if they can find 10%, 20% better than what they've been, they're going to get... They're only down by 6 points.
They've got a lot they can improve on in this second half.
Absolutely.
This is a danger spot for Maffra. Can they defend well here? Ball comes back in. Reed, big fist, spoiled. Goes out. Channing runs onto it. Handballs a bit early to Renoy. He didn't draw the defender in, and he kicks towards the half-back flank area. Over the back it goes. Trying to win this one is Kelly. He does, and then dribbles it towards his half-forward line. Lowering the shoulder there. Was that Carr? I think it is Alex.
Yep.
And he gets a free kick. Half-back flank. Plays on quickly. Drives his boot into it. To half-forward. Bennett and Cooper. Bennett reads it better. Goes to ground though, does Bennett. Cooper just kicks it off the ground. Can he keep it in? He does. He goes down the line and he finds Bowman, who marks at half-back. Comes inboard. It's starting to open up in a little bit, boys, now. As Hopkins goes inboard to Stone. He can turn and run and drive it in. Top of the 50 it goes. It's a poor kick and a big spoil there from Adams. And it was handball over the top though. He's taken the long sleeves off, has David Adams. Borshman tried to win it, but Adams was there again. Gave it to Hutz, who blazed away. And with courage going back with the flight of the ball. Nicely done was Jolly. He kicks it out the front. It's a foot race now. And it's John Butcher and Josh Skelling. Butcher has it. Handles over the top to Renoy. He will give it back to Butcher. Kelly will come in and put pressure on. He goes to ground. He cops the knee to the head. He tries to get the footy out. They jump on top of him. And the umpire says, my ball. Great contest. Right in front of us. Right in front of the Maffra coaching staff here at half forward. 6 minutes gone, margin still 6 points.
Tommy Marriott's really lifted early in this third quarter. He could be in for a big one here.
Sandbrook out the back, won it, kicked it towards half forward. Big fly from the back. Harry now tries to win at ground level. Renoy comes in, fumbles it over.
James Hutz.
And sat down after he got rid of it, so free kick possibly? No.
James Hutz.
He's been great.
Unreal. Just doesn't lose a contest, does he?
No, and he puts his physical presence on the game. And the others start looking around. He goes back now to his post on Lloyd. Willis tapped it down to Bowman. They're starting to win this one now. Marriott delivers towards half forward. On the top of Nagel's head. Out the back is Adams. And down is Nagel. Winning that one though is Adams out the back pocket. Handles over the top to Plemmy. He's got some space. He comes inboard to O'Brien. Top of the 50. Back to Adams who ran on. This is better play. The kick though. Turnover as Olden marks on the wing.
Nagel looks very ginger after
he
that
got a
contest.
nice big stinger right in the top of the buttocks.
The high glute area.
Glute. Bum. Whatever you want to call it.
Short kick from Olden, missed the target. Channing picked it up at half-back. Gave it backwards to Renoy. His kick goes inboard. Johnson's back onto the ground now. Boxer, you missed that one. As winning that there is West away. Quickly wrapped up in a tackle from O'Brien.
Yeah, sorry, Scott. I had my eyes on Nagel at the minute there too. But, yep, good pick up by yourself.
Anything different to note of Jack Johnson out there?
His hands taped up. So he might have cut his hands cutting the oranges. Who knows?
As we've got another stoppage on the far side of the ground.
One of the Leongatha players forgot to shave this morning.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Paulie.
Well, Willis will go at it with Reed. This time Reed wins the tap. Good work, but Willis picks it up off the ground and somehow gets out of the tackle. Kicks it to the half-forward flank, but Geesh and these defenders from Maffra have been reading the football better, but he just lost the football. Brock Davidson kicked around the body. Hutz, well, he dropped the mark in the end. He's still got time, though, to pick it up and run away and then kick it towards the wing area. And the halfbacks of Maffra clearly have been the best players so far as Coleman gets ran down from behind. He got a handball away. And we've got a free kick for a throw. One umpire said he handballed it. The other umpire said you threw it. And the free kick goes to Leongatha in Bowman's way. Kicks to half forward. No one can mark it. O'Brien was back there. His handball missed the target as well. Here's Johnson. They come for him. And slung tackle downfield. Yes, it will be.
Yeah, a bit late there by Lloyd.
Yep. I think they saw number 24 and the eyes lit up.
It's unnecessary. They've already remonstrated with him. It's a waste for them to go after him now because really they've made no impact on the scoreboard while he was off, which was a big chance for them. So they shouldn't remonstrate now. Well, should put it on the scoreboard.
I think they will, and I reckon they will for the rest of the game. I have a feeling. The margin is 6 points. We're stuck at 3 goals, 2-20.
That draw's looking
Leongatha.
really shaky. It's going to be a long walk
2-2-14. I'm not backing down on this one, Boxy.
How many k's is it to Morwell?
No, I don't care.
A lot of kilometres.
I'm not backing down. Willis tapped it down the front. No one can win it from this stoppage. Channing was the one.
And I thought saying 10 goals wins this game was being conservative.
Yeah, exactly.
10
Hey,
goals.
Paul, I'll slip you a 50 if you can take me home.
Willis took it out of the ruck and barrelled it to the wing area. Hutz was there, got one hand on it. He's nearly best on ground for
Wow.
Gippsland Ozuzu Ute. Goes in board to Carr. That's Ed. Nicely
got a
kicked
Paddy.
to Jolly. He chips it over the top. Good call, Paddy. And he marks it. Is he too far out to score? He can go over the top again. And Bennett presents. And he marks it. Was touch play on, said the umpire. But he's got one high anyway.
Now.
And he's won himself
And
the
that's
free
50.
kick over the shoulder. They're going to go to Bowman, are they? As they don't, the umpire says we'll hold things up. Mitchie Bennett will go back. And he kicked one from exactly the same spot at the 2 minute and 22 seconds in the first quarter. Now, Maffra want to be careful here. Lambourne, you want to just get out of there. You've got a shot on goal. Don't get sucked in and get the football turned over. Because Bennett's likely to put this one through. And it's going to be...
A reverse, is it?
It's going to be a reverse, is it? No, it is. Well, there you go. We warned you, Joel Lambourne, and you went and gave it away the other way.
I'll be taking him off.
Well, that could be a game changer. That's the big moment, thanks to Monticello's right there, as Leongatha now get the footy to half black. Westaway lost it, picked up by Jolly. Good little shepherd by O'Brien. Jolly puts it in. The breezes bringing it back, and from 60 metres, that's one of the better points you'll see.
That's the best point I've seen all afternoon. It gets it away from that draw. But
In the
Lambourne...
third quarter.
I know, don't go. But it's just something that Mitch Bennett should have had that shot at goal.
First chance to look at the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, and they come out to the 11-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah.
3-3-21 to 2-2-14.
Oh.
Maffra leading by 7 points.
They are silly free kicks at the minute. O'Brien's been told he took the mark and then gave him one around the ears too late as they go inboard through the middle. And Olden has it. They've just got to keep their cool here. Olden will look to the near side. He kicks it in that direction. Lloyd's the target. He's got the mismatch, but three of them come at him. Hopkins was down on his own at ground level. Great work by Lambourne to give it to Butcher. He just kicked it away. And Carr! And Alex Carr takes an absolute screamer on top of Olden.
He is very sore too old, and he's copped the full brunt of that through the ribs.
Right in the ribs. Short kick to Channing on the wing.
The game's got everything.
Yep.
This game has got everything at the moment.
Just not goals.
No.
There's Channing. Waits for the target. Mitchie Bennett's the one. He puts it out in front of in the breeze. That doesn't get there. And Sovereign takes the intercept mark.
Tell you what, if you could watch these two teams go at it every day of the week, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you? It's never doesn't live up to the hype. It's brilliant.
Sovereign down to the wing. Big spoil again by Hutz. Ball in the middle. Oh, Carr just took him out and then got one over the shoulder. Well, he did well. And that
should have
was
been a 50
nearly
as well.
50. Carr quickly handballs to his brother. Missed it though, Ed. The big don't argue. Gave it to Butcher. Got around one tackle. Got around two. Gave it to Alex. He lost it. Something's going on out there. There's strange things are happening. Advantage is paid. Sandbrook goes back the other way to Ganane and Hutz. And Hutz spoils again. Lloyd was front and square. Left foot, high kick. Fleming will go back and push it towards the boundary line. And it goes over for a boundary throw in. And Boxer applauds.
That was brilliant by Fleming. He had two players to beat. He got pushed under the ball and he had enough awareness just to get hands to it, get the ball to ground, got his stoppage. The troops come in to help. Great work, Sam Fleming.
Don't know why that wasn't in the back.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
Well, to be fair, the umpire's in the middle of the ground, and
Well, there's three of them.
well, the boundary umpire was in the best spot to call that one, but they don't pay it. As attacking that one there was Davis, and at ground level again, Coleman tried to pick it up. Couldn't do so.
I reckon when Leongatha review the tape, they're probably going to be sort of saying to themselves, we went the player too much.
Yep.
And that's just what they're doing at the moment. They're going the player. So there's something they just got to be really mindful of.
Well, quick kick there from Reid across half-back. Didn't go a great distance. Well done by Channing to give it to Adams. He just looks for the boundary line. It's going to stay in. Willis will win it and run away. He gets around and then kicks it out of bounds with a wobbly kick.
As much as you love all your players running inside forward,
Yep.
50 unattended, usually your ruckman's not the one you want trying to kick it in
And
there.
I'm sure Big Benny hasn't got a left foot either. He was a little bit off balance there, we'll call it.
Well, 13 and a half minutes, nearly make it 14 minutes gone. We still haven't had a goal scored since the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. as Willis takes it out the ruck, gives it to Alden. First, don't argue. Second one's holding the ball, and it is. Good decision. Alex Carr's lifted, wins it, kicks it high to a 2-on-1. Johnson flew, Skelling spoiled, and the one actually won out.
And that's hit out number 50 for Ben Willis.
Yeah, we're halfway through the third quarter in the North Gippsland prelim final, and it's still Rosedale holding control there, 11-7-73. They lead Churchill 6-11-47.
Ball comes back in. Reid tried to tap it over the back. Alden took on one, gave it to Borshman, who gave it to Stone, and from 50, Stone unloads. It's going back. Plemming, got a hand on it, and it was touched over now for a boundary throw-in. Could have let that one go, perhaps.
Perhaps a final score in the Gippsland Power game too. Gippsland Power won 11-9-75 to 6-4-40. So they progress through to next week's preliminary final.
Yeah, great work by the Power boys, and a very, very good win. As this is tapped in there by Leongatha. Top of the square it goes. Ed Carr handballed over, looking for the boundary line. Coleman goes to ground as well. And 15 minutes have gone again, and we have a 7-point margin, Paul Carter.
Yeah, McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard 3-3-21 Maffra to 2-2-14 Leongatha.
Australia's most popular barista-made coffee, only at McCafe. We could get a delivery.
Well, we could after all these food and never got desserts sitting out here as well. So, yeah, we'd go down all right with the coffee at the minute.
Scott Pearce is on notice.
Yeah, he's gone now. Your sandwiches and your... Oh, sorry, mate, but I know we sound ungrateful, but it's unbelievable.
Well, we don't. And not much happening out there at the moment. Another stoppage inside forward 50 there for Leongatha.
Just looking at the wind, is there any particular way you think that's blowing, Boxer, as far as favouring either way?
No, I don't think so. The way the kicks are still coming in, they're still swaying to that far side of the ground.
Well, we haven't had a goal kicked we've had one at that end of the ground,
Yep.
I think, for the whole game. All others have been kicked at the other end. As from here, Ed Carr kicks it outside his defensive 50, and no, not quite paid, as Willis picked it up, and then the big fella Butcher just sat on top of him. He put a saddle on big Willis and tackled him to the ground. And we'll have another ball up, half forward, flank now for Leongatha. Willis tapped it across, winning it though is Carr, who went to ground though and then lost the football. Sandbrook from 49 metres blazes away. Wind takes it and it goes over for another boundary throw-in.
I'm not sure which way Carl Sandbrook's tied up his shoelaces today. Maybe the knot's in the wrong spot, because his kicks haven't been much chop either, have they?
Maybe Carl tied him up for Cole.
Yeah, well, that's his brother.
That's 11 inside 50s for Leongatha. No score this quarter.
Yeah, could be costly. There's a big fly from Harry, got it out the back. Lloyd couldn't pick it up off his toes. Neither could, or Bowman did in the end, and then handball to the top of the square. Lambourne tried to run and clear it out of there. A quick clearing kick from Reid, and well left by Skelling, because...
Called out of it.
Yep, the call was from Chris Baboon.
It's really cold, is it? Yeah.
As Baboon goes back to Skelling, and he's 48 metres out. He lowers the eyes. The target's Ganane. They close. Ganane put one hand up. 3 Maffra players go to ground. Left Bowman at front and square. Quickly got ball to boot, and it goes out of bounds for another boundary throw-in.
Are we keeping stats on boundary throw-ins? I don't want to put Paul under the gun here, but this has been ridiculous.
A quick score for the Mid-Gippsland Grand Final. Third quarter, Yallourn North 5-2-39. They lead Hill End 2-4-16.
Well, close game. Conditions obviously a little bit worse down there in the valley than what they are up here in the beautiful climate of Maffra. As Ganane ran onto that one, losing the football. Good tackle was from Maffra. They get on the last line. Quick rush by O'Brien. And we have a minor score to Leongatha. Gets that margin, Paul Carter.
Back to one goal.
Oh, no.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, 18-minute mark third quarter, 2-3-15 Leongatha, 3-3-21 Maffra.
Well,
And I could do a heat map on the boundary throw-ins for you. They will all be open near the trees over there.
Well, the football heat map is inside forward 50 at the moment as Bowman marked it, wasn't 15. He spun around and got it out the fat side. Ganane couldn't mark it. Lambourne spoil. It gets back to Ganane. They lower the eyes. Lloyd. Well, the few marks inside forward 50 this afternoon. And here's one to James Lloyd. As Leongatha, he hasn't kicked one as Lloyd. He's been busy without being great. But certainly the marks inside forward 50 to game so far, Paul.
There's just 2-1 this quarter, and overall it was 3 each at half time.
So Lloyd starts it to the left. The breeze brings it back.
Scores
and
up
we
there.
are all locked up here at the showgrounds, Boxer.
We definitely are, and he put it in the perfect spot there too. So Lloyd, and he's competed really well today. Like I think we've been a little bit critical of the marks that he's dropped, but they're the ones that he should have taken. This one here, perfect example of it. He gets the reward, and his finish off was just as good.
The change has just been made. James Reed's just come off for a blow. I think John Butcher's going to have a run in the ruck.
And the scores are locked at 3-3-21 apiece, 19-minute mark of the third quarter, and that's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. And the inside 50s this quarter is 13-3 Leongatha's way.
Wow. Here we go. Big moments thanks to Monticello's. Willis will go up against Butcher in the middle of the ground. And Butcher got high. Nice little tap down, but it was picked up by Marriott in the middle. Gave it to Olden, who ran onto it, then kicked it high to half forward. Harry and Lambourne go at it. It bounces in front of Lambourne at his toes. Harry's going to pick it up. No, the boundary line beats them both. Boundary throw-in.
We're going to be speaking about that Lambourne free kick a little bit this afternoon, I reckon. Yep. After now the scores are level.
As Mitchie Bennett was about to have a shot on goal. They haven't kicked one since the 4-minute mark of the first quarter of Maffra. Scores are all locked up. Front spot was Willis, and Butcher pushed him in the back.
At 78 minutes of game time, Darryl.
Yep, well, there you go. Willis has it. Half forward as he goes inboard to Davidson. Nicely done, Davidson. He looks around to this near side. They've done this a couple of occasions. It's going to be on the top of Lloyd's head. Big spoil by Hutz again. Ganane was there. Out the back. Nicely done. That's holding the footy every day of the week, you'd think. And I think it was... This could nearly be 50 as Ganane got slung out of that one. And the free kick will go in the way of... Is it Marriott or is it Ganane?
Ganane.
It is Ganane. He got Adams in a tackle.
It's a fantastic tackle, Scud.
For the first time today, Leongatha looked to take the lead. They have trailed every minute of this game so far.
And as far as handballs go, that was a great forward pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. And Jack Ganane, he's on the slightest of angles. The breeze comes across his left shoulder. He's kicking toward the netball courts here at Maffra. And he's got one this afternoon. He'll become the first multiple goal scorer if he puts it through. It's a slow approach. Scores a level. And Ganane puts it into the post. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Australia's most popular barista-made coffee, only at McCafe.
Takes Leongatha to a 1-point lead, 3-4-22 to Maffra, 3-3-21. First time Leongatha have led all day.
He just stabbed at that, didn't he? Like he wanted to get that real hard kick into it because of the wind, and it just went sideways and hit the post.
Geeshan played on and kicked it clear the pack, and it went out of bounds in front of the gum tree.
That could be a massive moment, that miss. You never want to overhype it, but with how few and far between goals have come today, that could have been huge, that one.
Well, big moments thanks to Monticello's. We've got about 10 minutes to go in this quarter, you'd think. Maffra win it through Coleman, kicks towards Bedgood, over his head, running onto this one is Jolly. He picks it up, nicely done, keeps a low spearing pass into Bennett. He missed the target though, and Sovereign was happy to see it go over for a boundary throw-in. Now we're in Maffra's forward 50. The numbers roll up the ground.
Scud just in the North Gippy around the grounds thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. It is Rosedale still in front there, 11-8-74 they lead. Churchill 7-11-53 late into the third quarter.
We know Churchill can come home strong.
They can.
From the stoppage, Maffra rove there by Channing. Coughed it up though. Quick kick by Sovereign to clear that pack, but it's going to come back in. Johnson really marked and played on, and then he's in a bit of trouble. That's holding the footy, and Nagel wins it. Good tackle. He just didn't have the awareness where Nagel was coming from, did Johnson. And Nagel has it. 22 minutes passed in this third quarter. We've got a 1-point margin, and it's a nice mark on the wing to Harry. Does he turn around and move it quick? It's 1-on-1. Forrester's the one inside forward 50. It was touch play on, said the umpire. And now Davidson. And they're going to go... Well, they didn't go 15, perhaps. We've got a ball up in the middle of the centre square. 23 minutes have gone. Willis taps it over his head. Quick kick there was from Carr. Handball from Johnson was good. Now Channing over to Davis. Gives it back now to O'Brien. He got crunched as he kicked the footy. All fair. Bounced in front of Bedgood. Ball bobbles out. No one can really get a clean handle on it. Half forward flank for Maffra.
He did well then, Bedgood, just to keep it where it was, because he did squirt out and then he got it back in, so it was good to create another stoppage.
Just looking, Leongatha's playing one spare back as well as Maffra try and come forward.
And there's that loose one. It's Baboon. He won it and handled over the top, but gave it straight to Channing. His kick was smothered by Olden. Hopkins goes, great, shepherded by Marriott, allowed Hopkins to win it and kick it out towards the wing, but Coleman's there for the Eagles. He looks for a presenting target in the forward line, and it was, looked to be Jolly, I think it was.
Yep.
He got close to the boundary line, now it's over.
Yeah.
He was asking for chopping the arms. We didn't see it.
Jolly and Bennett are, now that Bedgood's dropped back, but Jolly and Bennett were the two that were playing as their most deepest forwards.
Well, they're going small forward line as Butcher has to take this ruck duties up against Willis. Comes to ground. There's Butcher again. Channing did well. Gave it up to Olden, who kicks over his shoulder, and Coleman again takes the uncontested mark at half back. Half forward. He wheels around. Bedgood presents. It's going to go over his head. It's going to fall down. Reading it nicely was Jolly. And we just spoke about that man a couple of moments ago. And the small forwards are Jolly and Bennett. It could be the move.
I've got to give the assist to John Butcher
Yep.
because he blocked out and he really worked it well, just so he had enough time. That was a great mark. Great sticky fingers.
And Butcher wasn't going to get it, was he?
No, he wasn't. So he knew that. He just stood his ground.
So Jolly comes in to regain the lead for the Eagles. They trail by one, and Jolly, he squeezes it home. He likes it. He tries to get his team up and about. And 25-minute mark of the third quarter, Maffra back in front.
Yeah, massive crowd. The cam bar is going off at the moment, just below us as well. So just the goal they needed. It's taken them a quarter and a half to get there, but they've got it. And just what they really needed now too. Now what they've got to do is back-to-back. It's just got to go back-to-back. But knowing what Leongatha's like now, this is they're going to try their hardest now to get the next one.
Lead back to Maffra by 5 points at the 25-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Maffra 4-3-27, Leongatha 3-4-22.
Oh, big moments thanks to Monticello's this afternoon to his goal. 30 blocks at $36 and Peroni Nastro Azzurri $39. Jim Bean 700ml at $33. Drink responsibly, of course. All thanks to Monticello's. It was Willis and Butcher will do battle again. 26 minutes gone. Willis tapped it down. Where's the run? It's from Marriott. Gave a handball to Harry. Inside the centre square. Missed the target. Skids through two or three players. At ground level though, Forrester dragged it in, then lost it out the back. Geeshan's kick is going to come off, and Jolly provided the spark. He looks to come to the wing area. Danny Butcher, the kick was touched though. Johnson marked it. Oh, it was a mark. He got
paid a mark.
He got paid the mark. The ball was clearly touched. It didn't matter because Johnson kicked it to Skelling. So Skelling at half-back slows things up for the Parrots. Kicks it down towards the line. Bowman's in the front spot. Willis there, but Johnson flew over the top and then stared at the Leongatha coaching staff, if you don't mind. Well, there you go. That's added some fuel to it as well. Borschman has a crack at him from the bench and then kicks it and got dumped by Harry. The ball goes down to half forward. It's been downfield. It's been downfield. The Leongatha supporters get stuck into Johnson, but they've got the football at half forward. The Eagles, it's through Brunt. He drives it inside. Over the back is waiting is Bennett. Front and square there was Butcher. Trying to crash his way through was Channing. And that was interesting because all the Leongatha players went up. They left two players down.
Yep.
And the contest was just for Butcher to find something. Willis tapped it out. Channing tried to shark it. Couldn't do so. Carr does well. That's Alex. Gave it to Jolly. Kicks around his body and misses everything out of bounds on the full.
The coaches will be furious at three-quarter time. There's been a couple of acts this quarter that they will definitely be getting stuck into their players for. That downfield could have been massively costly for Leongatha, and vice versa, the reversal earlier this quarter with Lambourne as well.
So Chris Verboon, the captain of Leongatha, has it in the back pocket. Kicks a shallow kick, but Willis was the target, top of the 50. And he marks it. 28 minutes have passed. Margin is 5 points in favour of Maffra. Willis keeps it to the boundary line and puts it out of bounds on the full. And you can hear the Maffra supporters cheer that kick. There's Hutz for Gippsland Ozuzu, one of the best on ground. Drives it top of the square. Baboon! Leo Barry-like.
Isn't it like the battle of the two backmen, isn't it?
Yep.
Hutz and Verboon.
Well, he squared it up and went to Kelly. And Kelly can chip it over the top and find Cooper. Just a diving mark forward. Cooper still in his defensive 50. As Cooper looks to the right, looks to the left. He ends up kicking it back to that far side. And he's missed the target right on three-quarter time. We've had 11-point margin at quarter time. We've had 6 points at half time. And now we're at 5 points in this three-quarter time break. We've got one to go. We have an absolute classic coming up here at the Maffra Showgrounds this afternoon. It's the second semi-final, and the winner goes into the grand final. And at the moment, Maffra lead at 4-3-27. Leongatha a 3-4-22. It's Gippsland live, right Boxer.
Yeah, there will be two, Scud. While we've got a quick chance, I'll go around the grounds quickly for Harvey Norman Furniture. At three-quarter time in the Mid-Gippsland League football, the grand final. Well, we know it's football. Yallourn North 5-11-41. They lead Hilland 3-4-22. In the North Gippsland Football League, it was a tight one there. It is Churchill 9-12-66. They trail Rosedale 11-8-74.
They're coming.
Well, they certainly are.
And in the East Gippsland League prelim final as well, Scud, Linno 7-7-49. They lead Wyong 2-2-14 at three-quarter time.
All right, to get things underway in this final quarter, Willis and Reid will do battle. The umpire sets us away for this final quarter. Reid got the favour of some throw-up. Johnson grabbed it and got wing tackled by Marriott and Bowman. And we'll do it again. And Willis, this time, gets his hand on it. Kicked out of mid-air there by Butcher, and again quickly tackled her as he was receiving it on the wing was Jolly. As Stone quickly closed, Willis again got a hand on it. No one's really going to win it except for Coleman for Maffra. And he got boot to ball, gets it to half forward. Brunt had his hands on the football and it was kicked off the ground. They win it anyway. Hammered out the back. Johnson now lowers the eyes. Baboon will pick it off. Well, he had the leading target in Butcher, but Baboon read it nicely. And as he's done all afternoon, he comes in and wins, and he's tried the clearing kick, but he's kicked it straight back to Jack Johnson.
Easy for me to say, Scud, but he should have been running into the goals
end. Johnson's got Butcher out the fat side, and he's going to hit him on the chest. And what a great kick by Jack Johnson.
Brilliant.
Yep, and that's what happens when the dirty kicks come out of the back half. It gets the defenders unsettled. They're out of structure. They don't know where their opponents are. And it was beautifully read by Butcher.
Was it Carl Sandbrook that kicked that then?
No, it was Chris Baboon.
Okay.
Who received it from Johnson, then gave it straight back to him. So, John Butcher has one. He is on a slight angle, 40 metres out for goal. And at the 1.5 minute mark, final quarter, big moment for Monticello's. He's pushed it. And it goes away to the far side Boxer.
It's a one-goal margin here at Maffra in the second semi-final. And we've played almost 2 minutes in the last quarter. Maffra 4-4-28 to Leongatha 3-4-22.
Boxer, do you want to go over what we spoke about pre-game?
Does Maffra have Uber?
Kick comes back in. There's a long way to go in this game. We've only gone 2 minutes. They go forward again, Maffra. And again, Baboon picks it off. He played on, though, and they've got some numbers out wide. Sovereign's the one. Quickly kicks towards Nagel, who can mark it. And slow things up. He can chip it over the top. He's got Marriott on. Nicely marked. He can handball to Sovereign. No, he didn't go there. And Marriott holds it up. Skelling wants it in the middle. That'd be a dangerous kick, though. And with this breeze, he just kicks it high towards half forward. The big fly will come from Ganane, who marks strongly in the pack. He can go inboard now. He does to Davidson. And he can turn and go. No one's forward, though. They've got some numbers out wide if he wants to continue the switch, but he comes back to the canteen side of the ground. He missed Bowman. Johnson will close. Bowman tackled him and got him over the shoulder. And he'll get the free kick. Maffra don't like it. Certainly there, though, boys.
It definitely was there.
We had a good angle on it here. Maybe a few of those extra cans are just starting to kick in front of the can bar there. They've got their one eye open, as you'd expect. It's second semi-final day. Bowman's kick, inside forward 50. Hutz with a big spoil. Adams was there, took him on. Maffra claimed it was high. You could hear him screaming. They said no, the umpire. Ball up, 40 metres out.
Ed Carr was lucky enough to get a free kick, and he got one over the back of the head.
Yep.
Willis tapped it straight to Plemming. He got a handball out to Butcher. His kick goes high. Top of the 50, defensive it goes. Johnson in the front spot. Couldn't mark it. Borshman was there. Trying to crash his way through again was Johnson.
I think Johnson's going to be the one this quarter. I'm sure he probably feels that he owes him one, but he could be massive this quarter if he can do it. As the ball gets thrown back up, Reid gets a tap by Willis. Straight down to Marriott. And he's just pulled that one on the narrow side for a one behind Paul Carter.
That's a great point.
It's a 5-point margin now as Leongatha go to 3-5-23, Maffra 4-4-28. Carpet Country scoreboard, almost 4 minutes played last quarter.
How's the ticket boxer? That's got you out of trouble for the moment.
Trouble at the minute.
Geishan brought it back in. Plemming, nice over-the-shoulder handball. Great smother, though, by Bushman on Coleman. He went back and got it, did Coleman. Close to the boundary line. Now it's over. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 4 minutes gone.
I know Paul's our best stats man, but I'll pull one out here for you, Boxer, just especially. So the drive to Traralgon's 44 minutes from where we are at the moment. The walk is just a mild 12 hours. So.
We might see him tomorrow morning. Actually, we're calling from Traralgon tomorrow for the big first semi. You just go straight there, Boxer.
I'll probably save an hour.
Can you carry the gear as well? Right, now got another boundary throw in here at Maffra. It's on the far side, true centre wing. 5 points margin.
Paddy, keep it quiet, mate.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, hold pipe down.
Just for those that are tuning in, I predicted a draw, and then Leongatha win it by 6 points in extra time. Boxer said if that happens, and it's a draw at the end of the game, he's going to walk home. As Bowman won it from this stoppage. Nicely done. Left foot kick around the body. Hearts. Oh, great work by Geishan. He picked the pocket and he gave it to Adams out the back. Adams has kicked, though. There's no one out there. And do they call deliberate? They do.
You
As Bowman, I knew.
You cannot do that. Not with the conditions the way they are.
Oh, Boxer's about to lose it.
Oh, glove man's done it again.
Bowman called that way, didn't he?
The Bowman played on, kicked to the top of the 50. Lloyd had to become to the defender and spoil. Shuffled it out there, did Maffra. Holding his ground with Borshman, threw it out.
That was a rugby pass.
Back there was Carr. Big don't argue on Harry. Didn't quite work. The second tackle is an interesting one. And we've got a boundary throw in. 55 metres out from goal.
That's just a way of an umpire to get centre of attention. That was no
deliberate.
No way.
What was he trying to do?
Well, throw it in.
It could have been called.
My question was, what was Maffra trying to do?
Just kick it out of the fence. Like a bounce that way because the wind took it that way.
Well, they go inside forward 50 again. I like to argue with you, Boxer.
I understand, but if the conditions...
Picked up by Bowman, nicely done. Ganane got a handball out to Hopkins. Can he get a handle on it? He can't. Good work by Lambourne. Carr, that's Ed. Barrels it out. Keeps it in the field of play. That's not deliberate. Baboon was back there. Butcher does well with strength to tap it backwards. Johnson at all fours, trying to win it and stand up. Marriott's in there as well. And we have a ball up. 6 minutes gone. Last quarter of the margins. 5 points. Maffra's way. Willis again. Landed on his head. Good work by Marriott to give it to Sandbrook. He had a fresh area. And then Carr left it behind. Good work by Brunt. He got it out low. Open space. Scowling tapped it forward to himself. And then he tapped it further to Davidson. Geishan does well. He got tackled and then lost the footy. Plemming gathered it and barreled it out.
Here we go.
And we might be on because Alex Carr has it. Handball's inboard to Butcher right in the middle of the ground.
Johnson.
Butcher goes over to Johnson. They've got numbers everywhere to Maffra. Johnson's just going to find someone. He kicks it to Butcher. He's found him all right.
What a kick.
And that's the one. He's got Butcher. 15 metres out from goal. Slightest of angles. The Eagles lead by 5.
Just looking, there's some boys rotating here that are absolutely out on their feet. Michael Coleman's coming off. Danny Butcher's coming off. Sorry to cut you off there, Boxer.
No,
they are absolutely gassed.
It's the best transition footy we've seen from Maffra, both sides today, because it's just allowed to happen.
This is the big moment for Monticello's right here, though. John Butcher comes in, and he puts it through the middle, and he turns around and gives us the double fist pump, as Butcher's got 2. To become the first multiple goal scorer of the game.
That was a kick done with authority as well too. Win the conditions. He really put his back into that one, and he got a goal post high as well, and as straight as you like.
How good's the ball use been from Jack Johnston inside the forward 50? That's twice he's hit Butcher this quarter from bullet passes in these conditions. Impressive.
And on the Carpet Country scoreboard, we now have an 11-point lead to Maffra, and we've played 7 minutes of the last quarter. 5-4-34 the Eagles to Leongatha 3-5-23.
Just quickly, Boxer, what do you think the change is for Leongatha to swing this around?
They've had their chances as well. I just think that they just need to capitalise when they get it inside 50. But both defences have been unbelievable, especially the Maffra one.
So Willis again. Reid goes up, got a good handle on it. Carr was there, gave it across to Johnson. Now working hard to Reid at ground level. Nicely done. Channing got it out to Jolly. Jolly goes forward again by Boot. Bounces over the top of Baboon's head. Bedgood had it. Spun around one. Twisting, turning. Ball to Boot. It's going and the wind doesn't bring it back. But Mitchie Bennett makes the mark on the last line.
He was on.
He's going to be on the tightest of all angles. But this
O'Brien's filthy.
In a low-scoring affair, if this goes through, could just about seal it. And I know the margin's only 11, and he puts it through. The margin's out now to 17, a game high, and in a low-scoring affair, that could be all she wrote.
Well, why would you give it off then if you knew what you were going to do then?
Yep.
I suppose it was pretty smart. What could have happened is the kick goes inside and he's lost the kick and he snuffed it up. So, well done. He's fantastic one-on-one, Bennett. He just uses that hip really well. Got under the ball. It's a great overhead mark.
Carlett Country scoreboard now finds Maffra 6-4-40 with a 17-point lead over Leongatha. 3-5-23. We've played 9.5 minutes of this last quarter. And will Maffra put 3 in a row like they did in the first quarter?
Well, they had big clumps and they may just do that as well. This is a big moment right now for Monticello's for Leongatha. If they are any chance, you'd think. In a low-scoring affair, Willis tapped it down. They've been good, Maffra. Coleman gave it, picked off though by Hopkins. Now gave it to Harry. He went backwards. Quick kick by Olden. To half-forward as goes. Dunn was there. Good coverage there by Adams. Borshman and Lambourne. Borshman wins this battle. Kicks it inboard. And will find his teammate in Cameron Stone. They need to play on and take the risk, Leongatha. They get it inside forward 50 again, and Adams was in the front spot. Bowman attacked it hard and won the stoppage, and then Geeshan wrapped him up. He handled out towards Harry, who gave it now to Olden. He's 60 metres out, does a check side kick to the hot spot, Fleming.
Just a quick one here, boys. Tom Marriott is stuck on the bench. He was unable to get on to get to that centre clearance, and he's stuck on the bench and can't get back on.
I had to do a quick update in the North Gippsland. It's got really interesting there as well, guys. It's Churchill who've hit the front, 12-12-84. They lead Rosedale 12-8-80, not long to go.
Well, there we go, as Bowman 60 metres out from goal has the footy. Lloyd presents in the hot spot there was Fleming. He goes back, and in the end, Hutt spoiled. Fleming comes to ground. Forrester was there. Hutt goes and wins it again. Davidson crashed into Forrester. Slung off the football. Good work by Hutts to give it to Lambourne, who gave it to Whelan, and he kicked around his body. There was Harry taking on a tackler. Left foot kick. It's going to land in the hands of G'day. No, he dropped the mark. Oh, a strong physical contest. And that was from Fleming, was it? And Ganane. Both eyes on the football. Great commitment to the cause. We've got a stoppage inside forward 50. 11 minutes gone, final quarter. Willis tapped it over. Hopkins couldn't get a handle on it. Got tackled now by Alex Carr. And we'll have another ball up. 17 points is the margin now in favour of Maffra.
Tom Marriott's still on the bench. Can't get back on. Just can't get there. They can't get a rotation off to him.
Crucial stage as well. They must get him out there somehow.
Just take someone off close. We can't.
There's going to be a free kick.
Maffra free kick.
Yep, from that stoppage goes to Reed. And surely now we're going to get the stoppage, the change that will occur.
No one's looking that way. That's the concerning thing, because it does need to go out to that fat side is where Maffra's going to take it. And at the moment, they've got two of them camped there. They can't get back on.
So Reed has it, looks to that far side. He goes square, nice kick. Found Ed Carr in the back pocket for the Eagles. They've withstood the challenge. They didn't kick one in the second quarter. They got one late in the third. And now all of a sudden they got two to open up this final quarter. As Leongatha got one last throw at the dice, start the stumps. But Maffra go forward again. And it's Bennett, and Cooper. And now the change occurs, but I've got a feeling it is going to be Davidson coming off for Tom Marriott. So he gets onto the ground. 12-minute mark to this final quarter.
Scud Mick Gippsland halfway through the third quarter, and it's Geelong North 8-12-60. They lead Hill End 3-4-22 thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture.
The Bombers might finally get one in mid-Gippsland. Might be a good day for the black and the red. As from the stoppage, O'Brien, and that's got to be deliberate, surely. Has to be that one. That was just a straight handball, straight out.
I agree with that one.
Coleman. Just thinking there.
Just quickly in the AFL, the GWS Giants lead the Bulldogs by 10 points at half time.
Oh, the Doggies are coming back. Bowman now starting to get a little bit of football. Kicks to the hot spots, 2-on-1 though. And Fleming's now starting to come into his own.
How does he get to be on his own?
Yep. Well, we can see it from up here.
How?
He's done it his whole entire career.
He has.
No one goes to him. His kick went out toward Cade Renoy. And Renoy still in his defensive 50.
Sorry, my apologies. That was midway through the last quarter
Thank you.
in the Mid-Gippsland Football League Grand Final.
Renoy's kick went down the line. Stone dropped the mark. He probably should have taken in the end. It goes over. Boundary throw in. 13 and a half minutes. And on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, it sees Maffra 6.4.40, Leongatha a 3.5.23. As Channing comes back on for James Whelan. Ball's back into the field of play. Kick around the body from Olden. Can't quite find Ganane. Geishan's been good this afternoon. His kick around the body. Might come back in. Olden wasn't paid. Play on, said the umpire. And again, we have a boundary throw in.
Something's got to change for Leongatha here. Now's the time. 14 minutes gone in this last quarter. They're down by 17. Goals are few and far between. There has to be something that has to change from a coaching perspective, from a personnel perspective. This is the time to go.
Yeah, you've got to start taking some risks, don't you? Whatever they are, you might get blown out by a couple of goals, but at the end of the day, you've got to have a crack at it. The grand final spot's up for grabs as Johnson just wheels his way forward. Skelling came the other way and won it. Bowman's getting busy, but he coughed it up to Alex Carr, turns around, kicks to some open space. Baboon will lead this one like a forward, but he's the defender. Westaway was there to handball over his shoulder to Forrester and found Willis. Now he plays on quickly to Olden, who took on the tackler, got around him, lowers the eyes and coughs it up. Alex Carr, Edcar takes the mark. And they're going to slow things up. He goes lateral to Coleman, who can run around, have a bounce, run away from Stone and Scully. He kicks it in the Bennett direction and marks in front of his opponent. He's trying to wheel and go. Butcher leads. It goes that direction. It goes over his head and Chris Baboon marks. And they want to switch this, you'd think. They do, through Nagel.
Jack Johnson come off with a little bit of claret coming from the mouth. Just needs to get cleaned up so he can go again.
A little chip kick. Forrester got over the top to Ganane. At his toes, marks. Big buffet of boxes in the way. Can't see anything down the line.
Oh, you could have just said it was me nose, but anyway.
Ganane's dangerous kick. Well, there's the risk.
Oh.
That reward might not come off, or might it? As Olden wins it, and then his kick was smothered. It bobbles around in the middle of the ground, and he goes again. Borschman was in there as well. Fleming had it ripped out of his hand by Borschman. Gave it off to Ganane, who ran. Now Marriott. Can he go all the way from 60 metres? He decides to have a flying shot at goal. The Breeze will take it and just squeeze it in for a minor score.
He did the right thing. He
had no one deep to go to. That was, it had to go.
3.6.24 Leongatha to Maffra, 6.4.40 Carpet Country scoreboard, 16 minutes last quarter.
O'Brien's coming off and Coleman's coming off absolutely gassed. O'Brien looks to be a little bit sore.
Corky from a Shepherd he laid before.
Leongatha go forward again. Marriott went back, didn't have it. Now he can win it. He can spin around. He gives it to Ganane. His kick was partially smothered. Lands in the hands of Renoy, who just blazes it away. And he goes towards the boundary line. It stays in. Sandbrook was there. He coughed it up by hand, though. Channing swooped on it. He can get over the top now to Jolly, who can kick around his body. It was Brunt in the end. Got it out the front of Bennett. Sovereign's back there as well. He'll want to see the boundary line. And he finds it. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 17 minutes gone. And we've got a margin of 16 points in favour of Maffra.
Scud in the North Gippsland Football League. It is Churchill 13-12-90. They lead Rosedale 12-9-81.
Another
over there.
Huge comeback. And just repeating that the Gippsland Power have booked themselves into a prelim final, defeating the Western Jets today. As Brunt has this 80 metres out from goal. Waits for some forwards to get inside forward 50. Butcher now's the target. 2 to beat, couldn't do it. Comes to ground and goes over for a boundary throw in. 17 minutes, 7.5 minutes, Boxer. They need something. The Parrots, they trail by 16.
They've had their chances inside 50. They just haven't capitalised. So they've just got to keep working the ball forward, take their chances now.
Maffra, if they can get one right now to stretch this margin, would just about seal it. Is Danny Butcher the man from the stoppage? Kicks around the body. Bennett, you play that one? Does it land? No, it didn't. It must have dropped at his feet. And right at the top of the square, we're going to ball up.
Umpire was in the perfect spot there too, so it's obviously hit the ground there too. No one was remonstrating either.
The experience of Sam Fleming here behind the ball too. He's just sitting there, putting every defender where he wants, and they're locking this down, and they're not going to let it get out.
Well, it is Maffra through Channing. Lost the footy. Baboon's been good.
He just got
we're going to ball up.
Suplex then by his Leongatha opponent. The umpire said, "Nut, play on."
This is valuable time for the Eagles. As this time, taking it in there out of the ruck there was Carr. At ground level, squeeze the handball out. Leongatha was there, ricochets off Ed Carr's knee though, falls in the hands of Bennett. He knows where the goals are, steps around the body and misses. He misses, and that could be one or two more, just might get it out over that 3-goal margin, Paul.
6-5-41, a 17-point lead to Maffra over Leongatha, 3-6-24. Carpet Country scoreboard 19 minutes last quarter.
Harry got it to Hopkins, who comes in board to Borshman, who can mark. He quickly plays on. Lloyd's got 2 to beat. It is Fleming and Hutz. Lloyd got underneath it. Good spoil. Front and square was Geishan. Renoy helped out as well. Centre half back is Renoy. Gets it out to Clossy. Nicely done. He can chip it over the top. No, he didn't. He slows things up as Clossy on the wing decides now to take him on and run and draw the handball to Jolly, who wobbles one in. It's all Leongatha. And Kelly, well, he dropped the mark. It doesn't matter. They got 3 down there, all on their own. They go to Skelling, who can kick it over the top to Nagel. And he's got room to move. And he runs and brings it back inboard to Borshman. They've got to take these risks. They've got to go. He chips it over the top to Forrester.
No one forward.
Not 15, play on to the umpire. Now Maffra will get a chance to go forward. It was over the top. Davis gave it to Carr. Alex Carr has just put an exclamation mark on this game, and that is all done. The Eagles are about to go into another grand final of the TRFM Gippsland League, and that is at the 20-minute mark of the final quarter.
Yeah, fantastic call, Scud. You've been on fire all day, mate. That energy drink has really kicked in well. But well called, mate. What a great goal there. Just the one they needed, the sealer for the afternoon. A 16-point deficit was already going to be hard enough for Leongatha. Now we've got a 23-point lead, and well done.
And that's on the Carpet Country scoreboard, where Maffra are 7-5-47 to Leongatha 3-6-24.
So, wow, that's all that will be written today. Might be a couple of extra scores in junk time, but gee, this Maffra side have been good today. Marriott bursting through the middle from the stoppage.
He's run a long way.
And he ran a long, long way. Too far, in fact, Paddy.
You can't fold the effort. Marriott's lifted, tried his best to bring his team back into it, but it's a little bit too late, I think, unfortunately.
Adams just getting up a little bit proppy after that chase down, and Johnson decides to slow things down. Johnson kicks it out wide over the top of Geishan's head. He did touch it, so it's out of bounds. As Alex Carr comes off, has a rest. He's just booked his team into a grand final, another one. And could we see another Maffra Leongatha grand final? Well, one's in there. Leongatha have got to go the long way. They've got to go through the prelim final. There's a big game tomorrow between Moe and Sale.
Scott, it's got really interesting over in the North Gippsland Football League. Churchill 13-13-91, Rosedale 13-9-87.
Ooh, prelim final day there.
4 minutes to go.
Yarram sit in the grand final waiting to see who they'll play.
Could be a hero here.
Mid Gippsland looks to be going Yallourn North way.
Very easily. I'll update you that very shortly.
As Gippsland Power had a good win early. Bowman there, quick kick around his body at the half forward line. Johnson goes the other way. Lost the footy, got a handball to it though. Reed's quick kick towards Renoy's direction. Shrugs one tackle. Tried to get it towards Ed Carr. Couldn't do so.
Just briefly in the East Gippsland League as well, it looks like Lindenau's going to book themselves into another grand final. That'll be against Boysdale next week. I'm not 100% sure of the scoreline, but they had it fairly well covered over Wyong.
Looks like she's all over in the Mid Gippsland Football League, and Yallourn North have finally got their premiership, the long-awaited premiership since 1996. 9-12-66, they defeated Hilland, a gallant Hilland, 3-4-22.
Back here, we're at the 22.5-minute mark of this final quarter. This big second semi-final clash. The game at the moment is in Maffra's hands by 23 points. They've slammed on 3 goals to none in this final quarter. It's a low-scoring affair, and 3 goals. They kicked 3 goals in the first quarter to open up proceedings within 4 minutes, and then it was really hard to score. They only got 1 in the third, none in the second, and they got 3 in this last quarter. Butcher, Bennett and Carr. So we've got another footballs down the line. And it's a boundary throw in half forward flank area for Maffra. They look to go forward again.
Great to see the weather hold off too, the rain.
Yeah.
So it's just giving us that, at least a little bit of clean football in regards to the dry ball and everything else as well.
Absolutely. We're coming to you live tomorrow from 1 o'clock from the Traralgon Showgrounds. As we said, the big first semi-final clash between Sale and Moe. The winner of that game looks to be playing Leongatha in a prelim final in a week's time at Morwell. As Butcher takes the ruck duties here, hit it straight down to Ed Carr, couldn't go anywhere in a Bowman tackle. 23 and a half minutes gone.
Been a ripping game of footy, hasn't it? You can never fault these two sides with how they go at it and go about it. It's always the same. It's always a cracking contest, and never know, in a fortnight's time we might see another one.
Of course, both sides missing some key players. That will be the talk during the week. Does Maskell come back for Leongatha in a cutthroat final next week? Does the rest help the likes of Kieran Jones? Does it help the likes of Andrew Petro?
We still haven't seen
outside
Brown back either in the second half, have we? Hayden Brown?
No, Hayden Brown has been missing in this second half, so another big injury to Leongatha. It will be an interesting one to watch during the week. Of course, Maffra have had a week off. Now they get another week off. The old argument about playing not enough games of football as you lead into a grand final. Well, that's
What a mark.
It all shapes up. Mark. That was by David Adams going back with the flight. And they love him here at Maffra. Old Patchy Adams. He's been a great stalwart for this club. And they look to get into another grand final. They're only minutes away from booking their spot. They kick down the line in the front spot. Johnson, Baboon marked it. He wasn't paid in the end. Handballs to Marriott. Now a handball to Bowman. Couldn't get a handle on it. Nagel there with a quick kick, but it was picked off there by Channing, who will put it back inside forward 50. Only not quite, but Bennett,
Good
second,
mark.
third grabs.
Throw in.
It's a boundary throw, and his second, third grab was over the line. Boundary throw in. Paddy disagrees.
I'll tell you what the winner was today. These 1%ers. How many smothers have we seen today? How many tackles? How many shepherds? That's the sort of stuff that you want in finals. Just incredible stuff by both sides.
Of course, Maffra were down a player for 15 minutes as well. And Leongatha couldn't capitalise in that moment of the game.
I think the biggest thing from Leongatha is they've got so much they can improve on today. This is definitely nowhere near their best performance. So, as much as it's obviously not the ideal result for them, they've got a lot they can improve on heading into next week.
Big tap out. Goes back to Scaling. The kick there was smothered. Johnson will kick it out wide to Coleman, who will mark it. And he'll take all the time in the world to go back, slow things up, have a shot at goal. The result's beyond doubt. It's 23 points, and we've gone 26 minutes.
Yeah, I think Johnson got asked, how's your mother, after he kicked that ball, but just bounced back up and just said, have a look at the scoreboard.
Well,
So
he might have an interesting week or two
yeah,
after being sent off, and we believe reported for striking. As in comes Coleman, he's kept it to the near side as he was kicking it, and it's over for a minor score.
7-6-48, 4 straight goal lead over Leongatha on the Carver Country score to a 3-6-24.
Big kick in. Harry used his hands to try and elevate. There'll be a free kick to Maffra.
Sam Fleming's just come off for a rest as well. I'd say that's nearly his day done.
how good is Sam Fleming? Hasn't played for how many weeks do you think, boys?
5 or 6, yeah.
Comes in and he's the general out there, and
I think
had a
Coleman,
great game as well.
Coleman not playing many games this year as well, being in and out. He's sort of blown up a little bit today as well, so hopefully some continuity there for Coleman today and maybe in the grand final.
That week off, ideal for him.
So we had another minor score there, Paul.
It's 25-point lead to Maffra at the 27-minute mark of the last quarter.
So Bowman has it for the Parrots, half-back flank, goes into the middle of the ground. Chrissy Dunn's had a quiet one this afternoon. He marks it in the middle, chips it over the top. He's got Davidson there along with Cooper, and Coleman tries to mark it as well, and he'll win it in the end, does Michael Coleman. Gave it up though, Borschman stole it off him. He's going backwards, he needs to go forward. Now he kicks. Big Willis will try and fly. He just works his player out from underneath there to the side. Reed wasn't so sure. Willis handballed off to Nagel, and Nagel from 55 kicks across the face of the goal, and it'll be marked by Joel Lambourne, who will chip it out to Cade Renoy. He won't slow things down. He'll run on. He's got the afterburners on, and he kicks it out the front there of Jolly and Clossy. And in the end, they both leave it. Clossy kicked it off the ground, and Jolly said it's out of bounds. And we've travelled 28 minutes now.
I reckon Lambourne's pretty happy now after that free kick got reversed on his behalf. I think he'll be walking off the ground saying thank God for that.
Yeah. Well, Maffra leader by 25 points. We're only a couple of moments away. There's Reed at the back there. Got it down, Forrester. Handball from Leongatha lands in the hands of Bowman. Has a bounce, lost it in the bounce, and Bedgood tackled. He dumped him with a don't argue. Handball came out the top. Borschman was there as well as Whelan.
He's a serious exponent of the don't argue. I don't know if they're all...
And there it is. The siren sounded. And Maffra have booked themselves into another grand final of the TRFM Gippsland League on their home turf. They finished on top. They had the rest. They earned the home final. And it is the Eagles, 7-7-49, have defeated Leongatha 3-6-24. And they get over the top of the Parrots. And that is a big, big win for the Eagles here. And a very well done. Of course, the big talk will be how many players will come back into the side. They get another couple of rests there for some key players.